Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Now, this is case number 137 on the calendar in the matter of Bassey versus Hood. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Who was driving? You weren't there?
No.
You're her mom?
Yes, I'm her mother.
She looks like she can take care of herself. If she can't, you can't help her because you weren't there.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Bassey, according to your complaint, you and the defendant got into sort of an altercation. You were going to pick up
my little sister.
Your sister in school, and you were going to pick up
my son.
Your son. And as a result of that, it is your claim that the defendant damaged your car. The defendant says that your poor driving was the result of the damage to your car, and you actually ran into her car. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pull that a little bit closer to me so that I can see it a little bit better. Up here, Bird. Miss Bassey, you're the red car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go over and put your finger over there, please. That's where you were coming from, and you were making a left turn into the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant was coming straight.
She was coming straight, and she didn't have a signal on. She was like right here where the curb is, where the driveway ends, and then she decides all of a sudden to, oh, I need to turn. And so when she turns, she comes.
Shh, don't speak.
She comes and she turns so close to the curb, and I'm about to turn thinking she's about to pass by, so I stop to prevent from hitting her because it's a very congested area. And she turns in, and then I turn in after her.
Well, so far, you understand she had the right of way.
Yes, ma'am.
You did not. So, okay, and what happened next?
I honked at her.
Why?
Well, because she didn't. I honked at her because she didn't use her signal.
Well, that's not a nice thing to do, Miss Bassey. That's not an appropriate thing to do. She had the right of way. So right there, you were wrong. You had no right to honk at her because she had the right of way. Whether you think she had a signal on or not, she says she did. It doesn't make any difference. In a congested road, and you're going across 2 lanes of traffic coming from the opposite direction, and she is on the side of the road where she could make a right turn into that spot, she's got the right of way. So, A, that's one for her team. You had no right to honk the horn. So what happened after you honked the horn?
We pull up into the driveway area. We're right here where you pick up all the kids. And I honked twice to get my little sister's attention. When I honked twice, she thought I was honking at her.
Again?
Yes, she thought I was honking at her again.
Well, now let me ask you this question. How many kids are outside?
A lot.
What do you think it would be like, Miss Bassey, if everybody honked their horn a couple of times to get their little sister's attention?
Well, yeah, I mean,
is there something wrong with your legs?
Well, no, she wasn't that.
Just listen. Was there something wrong with your legs?
There was nothing wrong with my legs.
Then if there's nothing wrong with your legs, you stop the car, and you get out of the car, and you say to your little sister, here I am. You don't sit in your car and honk the horn. We're going to go step by step. I haven't gotten to her yet, because I have a feeling you didn't behave reasonably either, because I read your answer.
No, ma'am.
And it's amazing to me that 2 women, you know, usually it's the guys that get into these jock wars, but 2 women behaving badly? How old are you?
17.
Well, you better go back to driving school and etiquette school, because so far you're not #1 on my hit parade today. So you honked your horn for your sister, and the defendant thought you were again honking at her. That's what you assumed. So what did she do?
She flips me off and starts waving her fist behind me. She turns around and she just starts doing the little hand things and yelling.
Not a nice thing. Just a second. Not a nice thing to do.
You're right.
Okay. So she gestures to you in an obscene gesture. What happens next?
I looked at her and I threw my hands up like trying to say, no, I was not honking at you. And, you know, she's still yelling, and I was yelling back at her. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to
So now you're yelling at each other?
Yes.
Good. Go ahead.
And then after that, my little sister does see me, and she comes to the side of the car. And the defendant is still very angry that I had honked at her. And, you know, we were still arguing with each other. And so at this time, I was trying to move. I had my little sister in the car. I wanted to get out of there. It's very busy. She doesn't move.
Well, where's your car?
Right here.
So you're behind her?
Mm-hmm. So she pulls up a little bit, we pull up, and then, you know, she's still mad. And I honked at her again. I'm like, can you please move?
All right, so why are you honking?
She wouldn't move.
Why does she have to move?
She could have moved, but
why,
she was...
Now, why does she have to move?
Well, her son had already gotten to the car.
Look, I'm looking at your car, and I'm seeing what you did. So you pulled out, according to you, you pulled out because she's not moving, and you pulled around her.
Yes, after she did it, but no, I got out the car. I even got out the car and said, will you please move? And she's still cussing me out.
Can I ask you a question? Why? Miss Bassey, what? Stop it.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you still arguing with her and imploring her to move when all you had to do was drive around her?
At the time, there was still cars going. There's a lot of cars still going through. And then when she was free, she wouldn't move. I was behind her to a place where I couldn't really squeeze around her this way or squeeze around her this way, but I managed.
Of course, everybody's picking up their children.
Yes.
Keep going.
Then I did manage to, because my car is small enough, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can squeeze around her. I was able to squeeze around her, and I drove all the way to over here to the drive area. Then she comes all the way, she drives over here, rolls down her window and said, "Is this the way black people act?" And I'm like, what was that supposed? I looked at her kids in the car, and they appeared to be biracial to me. And then I looked at her again, I'm like, what was that supposed to mean?
Okay.
And at this time, yes, I mean, we were cussing each other out. She then says, "Do you want to fight?" And I'm like, do I want to what? And my little sister gets out of the car.
What'd she get out of the car for?
She got out she's like, "Do you want to fight?" And my little sister's like, "What do you want to?" She got out. She's like, "What do you want to fight for?"
Where's the little sister? Step up here. Move over there. What did you get out of the car for?
Because at that time, Mrs. Hood had opened her door like she was going to get out, so I'm like...
Sounds like a perfect reason for you to stay in your car. If somebody, according to you and according to your sister, is acting like a lunatic and says, "Do you want to fight?" doesn't sound like the kind of situation you want to say, "Sure." Now, what's your first name?
LaQuise.
LaQuise, genius. What did you do when you got out of the car?
Well, I got out of the car because, you know, by that time I was really mad. And so I guess I wasn't thinking. I got out the car and then, you know, I kind of went over to her car and then...
So you kind of went over to her car?
What
does that mean? That means you went over to her car?
I walked over to her car.
What?
I walked over to her car.
And what did you say when you walked over to her car?
I really didn't say anything. I was waiting on her. She said she was going to get out and fight. And I'm like, is
and
she
that's
serious?
what you were waiting to do. You got out of the car to fight her.
I mean, I was going to see if she was
Miss Bassey back there, you should be very proud of them so far. Are you following me?
I am.
Right? So far, I'm looking at your mother and I'm looking at you two, and I got news for you. I don't think that your mother would have reacted the same way that day that you did. Right, Miss Bassey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When people behave badly and they have no defense for their bad behavior, they infuse racism to try to inflame the fact finder. Listen to me. It doesn't work.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
17-year-old Brycey Bassey says during an argument at a junior high school, fellow motorist Tatum Hood rammed her car. Tatum claims Brycey and her sister threatened her life.
Okay, so after you got out of the car and walked over to Miss Hood's car because she said she wanted to fight, I assume at some point you got back into the car.
I walked over back to my sister's car because, you know, she was about to turn right by then. But then Mrs. Hood hits my sister's car, and I was shocked. I had no time to get back in the car because that's when she turned out.
Well, just a minute. Your sister is making a turn from the wrong lane.
No. This is to go right. I went left after she had to hit my car. I was not even moving when she hit my car. She hit my car on purpose.
You mean she plowed into your car, you were standing still?
Yes, my car was not in motion.
Okay. And you have photographs of this car?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Oh, that's a lot of damage. All right, Miss Hood, ball's in your court.
It was January 19th, 2005. May I go over here? I went to the school to pick up my son that's here. I'm the blue car here. I'm coming down Tyler Road. I believe it would be south. She's coming north. She is right here. As she said, it's very congested. There's lots of cars. If she would have been, like on her chart, over here already turning, there was tons of cars coming. I did have my blinker on.
Listen to me. She was wrong. I already said she was wrong.
Okay. So we turn in. When we turn in at Wilbur, there's also, there's like 2 lanes like this. I stay in this lane. We never got over here because to get over here, you have to stop up against the school, and there's buses and handicap parking. I stayed in this lane. As I was turning, she started calling me all out of my name. She called me a white bee. Go back to driver's ed. Learn how to drive. I'm going to kick your butt. As we stopped, I stopped here. She was behind me. She honked. I thought she was honking at me. Stupidly, I flipped her off. I never shook my fist at her, nothing else. She got out of her car at that point in time, come up, beating on my window, was screaming, I'm going to kick your butt, but she was not saying butt. Get out of your truck, you white bee this, white bee that. I rolled down my window. I said, you need to go get back in your car before you embarrass yourself. She went back into her car. We both proceeded to go. She spun around me. She's still screaming. I'm saying some stuff. We get like we're right here, and she is calling me all out of my name, still profanity, racial slurs. I am married to a black man. I am not racist. I rolled down my window. I said, you are giving young black women a bad name. You should not act like that. I would never allow my daughter to act like that, or my son. She's like still using profanity, still cussing, and she's like, pull over her. By this time, the other sister was screaming at me too. Pull over, we're going to whip your butt, blah, blah, blah. She starts to go. I take off. Bam, I hit her. She's barely like this. They're going to pull over. They're trying to cut me off to fight. She never got out of the car. I hit her. When I hit her, we stopped. I probably stopped for 30 seconds. I'm not going to lie. Both of them at that time got out of the car. She was never out of the car till after I hit her. And then they were screaming, we're going to kill you, you stupid white bee, blah, 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 calling me racial. I can't believe it has turned into a racial thing. It's so sickening. And then...
No, it's not. It's not. Listen to me. Listen to me, Miss Hood. It's not racial here. It's not racial in this courtroom.
You're right.
Sometimes when people behave badly and they have no defense for their bad behavior, they infuse racism to try to inflame the fact finder. Listen to me. It doesn't work. Go ahead.
Afterwards, I leave because I don't know what they're going to do. Brycey then jumps back in the car with the younger sister that she picked up, who's in the back seat, chasing us. I'm stopping at stop signs, stopping at stoplights. Each time we stop, she's getting out of the car, trying to come up to the window, still screaming. When we see two cop cars coming, I pull into a parking lot. She pulls in. When she pulls in, she stops. She gets out of her car. I'm going to mollywop you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to beat you up.
May I please see the police report?
Yes, ma'am.
And then
I want to see the police report.
The cops that pull up are telling her to get back in her car. They restrain her. I'm sorry.
I want to read the police report. You told the police you got out of the car.
My sister got out of the car.
Brycey, you signed the statement. You said, before that, I got out of the car and asked what the problem. And one continued to yell at me.
When I got out the car, that's way before, whenever we were still in the school area.
You didn't tell me that you got out of the car.
I did. I said I got out of the car and asked her to move.
No, you told the police you got out of the car and asked her what her problem was.
Yeah, I asked her what the problem is. Can you please move? I was not honking at you.
Did you do the wrong thing that day?
Yes, I did.
How much of this accident was your fault?
I would probably say, I don't know. I'm not going to say that it was the least of my fault. No, it was not. I shouldn't have honked at her. You know, that's the one thing. I shouldn't have honked at her. And then when I honked twice, I probably should have yelled for my sister. Or, you know, then after I got out the car, you know, instead I should have probably just sat there and waited for her to move.
Yes, you want to say something?
For what it's worth, I just want to say that I did speak with Mrs. Hood regarding this accident 2 days later. I went over to Mrs. Hood's home because I got the police report. I didn't have insurance. I was going to file the insurance, and I needed to know where she lived. The police did give us her address, and I went. She was very polite. I didn't have a problem with her. Mrs. Hood told me she was having a bad day that day. She said she was in an argument with her husband's nieces, and, you know, she was upset, and she was already tensed up and upset. And she did tell me she intentionally hit my daughter's car. She never denied hitting her car, but she also proceeded...
Just a second. Are you telling me, Miss Bassey, that Miss Hood said I intentionally hit her car?
Yes, she did. Those were her exact words to me. Yes.
Interesting. Is that what you said to her?
I said I hit her daughter's car. I never intentionally hit it. She was coming this way to cut me off. I did hit Brycey's car. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't hit it.
No, I know you did. I have the pictures to prove that you did. I'm just surprised that Miss Bassey is telling me that you used the word intentionally. I mean, I can't imagine anybody intentionally hitting somebody else's car.
Oh, that's what she told my daughter and myself. And she also told me she left the scene of the accident. I don't agree with Brycey chasing her. She said she left the scene of the accident not because she was afraid of my daughter.
Not just chasing her, Miss Bassey.
She left because she said she was unlawfully driving her truck.
Listen to me. I got it. I don't believe this story. I believe that what your daughter did was pull out, speed around her, and I believe that when she pulled out and sped around her, Miss Hood caught up with her.
No, I don't believe that, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Because Brycey wasn't moving when she hit her.
No. Listen to me. I said Miss Hood caught up with her. She pulled around her fast in a school pickup zone. That's what your daughter did. She had an attention span and a fuse that was about this short. And she created a situation in there because she's got a hot temper and she wasn't behaving like a mature driver. Neither was this one. But she's not the plaintiff. She is. So you had, according to your complaint, $4,000 worth of damage to your car with no insurance.
No.
And all I'm asking...
She had insurance.
Insurance.
Yes, we had insurance.
Oh, good. So how much did the insurance pay?
We didn't want to file the
No.
insurance.
Well, you better.
Insurance does not take care of damages that have intentionally been done
That's
to
what
the
they
car.
said.
Well, listen to me very carefully. I would file with my insurance carrier if I were you. Ordinarily, if this was solely her fault, I would say, well, why should you file with your insurance? Because that means your premiums are going to go up.
Yes, which they would have.
You're absolutely right. They would have, because she's a 17-year-old driver who was involved in an accident. But this accident was partially her fault. So I think you ought to file with your insurance company. Now, what kind of deductible do you have?
$500.
Good. Ms. Hood's going to pay that. But you file with your insurance company. This accident was partially your fault, and that's what you have insurance for.
Even though Mrs. Hood agreed to fix her car, she agreed to fix it.
Listen to me. Then you don't come to court, Miss Bassie. Then you don't come to court. But if you come here and you're asking a fact finder to make a determination of what the right thing to do is, in this case, the right thing to do is because your daughter was at least 50% responsible for what went on that day because she did the wrong thing. She may have caught her on a bad day. That's the way sometimes you catch people. What? She was not in a hurry to go to a summit meeting. So she waits her turn, and she takes an extra couple of minutes, and her sister doesn't get out of the car in an aggressive stance. She's not picking up her baby sister, who's 3 years old. Your other daughter looks like she can well take care of herself, and she's got an attitude. So that's what you have insurance for. Miss Hood has to accept some responsibility for what she did, and she's going to cover your deductible. Put it into your insurance. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 15 on the calendar in the matter of Miller versus Welch. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Miller, it is your claim that the defendant, who was living in your home, along with her mother and her child, filed false charges against you for domestic violence. You want to be compensated with the return of your bail and some additional amount of money to compensate you for what you went through. The defendant says that she filed for a protective order because the ultimate reason was you called her 3-year-old some bad names, right?
Yes.
How did she come to be in your house?
Ma'am, Jessica Welch and I had a relationship. Our relationship started the ending of September, beginning of October. She moved in, ma'am.
Why did she move in?
We had a relationship. I was physically attracted to her. We talked a lot, had a lot of things in common, ma'am. My wife moved out.
When did your wife move out?
About the end of September.
Okay, so your wife moved out in September. You began a relationship with the defendant, and when did she move in?
Beginning of October, ma'am.
Don't like to be alone?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Miller?
No, ma'am.
Are you living alone now?
No, ma'am. I'm back with my wife, and we're working things through.
Good. You still didn't tell me why she moved in.
She was living with her stepfather, ma'am, and I guess her stepfather was doing a lot of yelling. It was a bad environment for her son, CJ.
So that's why you allowed her to move into your house, plus the fact that you liked her.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right so far, Miss Welch?
Yes.
You had been living previously with your mother,
My mother and stepfather, yes.
and they weren't getting along.
No.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Did you work then?
Yes.
What kind of work did you do?
I'm a clerk at a convenience store,
Full-time, part-time?
full-time.
And your mother?
She works for a big satellite company.
Tell me about why you filed for a protective order against him.
There was an argument that Chris and I had.
When?
Right before Thanksgiving. It's the end of November.
Okay.
He had been drinking. He had argued with his wife on the telephone. He was promising to take her out for their anniversary. And being as they were separated, I didn't agree with that. We got into an argument about it. As I turned to walk away, he
came after me. He ran after me and grabbed me and knocked me down to the floor.
Shh. Mr. Miller, I know you want to respond. You're going to have an opportunity to do that. Came from behind you.
He grabbed me from behind and knocked me down to the floor. I ended up went into the bathroom to cry because...
Well, what happened after he knocked you down to the floor?
After he knocked me down to the floor, he went back into the kitchen because my mother got into the middle of it. My mother watched and she separated us.
Were you arguing with each other?
Yes, we were.
Were you physical with him?
No, I wasn't. I turned and walked away from him.
Did you say anything to him?
No, I was like, I'm done. I just turned and walked away.
Okay. That was in November?
Yes. And then later that evening, we went to bed. I was putting blankets and pillows in between us so that we didn't touch while we were sleeping. And he leaned over and bit me on the left breast.
And where did you sleep that night?
I ended up sleeping on the floor that night.
And the night after?
The night after was back in the bed with him.
Well, what happened the next day?
The next day, he said he didn't remember. He had been drinking a lot. I tried to tell him what happened. He just blew me off and ignored me. He just did not remember.
Well, that's November. Did you stay together in December?
No. Monday after the incident occurred, I got a restraining order. And
you got a restraining order when?
I got a restraining order the end of November.
I'd like to see it, please. Now, one of my questions to you is, you moved into his home.
Yes.
You, in effect, had him kicked out of his own house. Why didn't you and your mother and your kid leave?
At that time, we didn't have any money because we paid off the rest of his deposit when he invited us to move in, and he added our names to the lease.
Mr. Miller, you
Yes, ma'am.
added her name to the lease?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
That was very stupid.
Yes, it was, ma'am.
What was that Forrest Gump line, Bird? Stupid is as stupid does?
That's the one.
Right. Okay. Now, he wasn't arrested on this domestic violence charge. He was arrested for outstanding warrants that he had when you filed the complaint. What kind of warrants did you have, Mr. Miller?
Misdemeanor, ma'am. They were being intoxicated in public and in public.
You didn't learn not to drink, Mr. Miller?
Yes, ma'am. I go to classes now. Yes.
You should have gone to classes back in November.
I was doing that, actually.
Not successfully?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This case was ultimately dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Assault case was, yes.
How come, Miss Welch?
But because pretty much he got my boss, my ex-boss and old co-worker to lie for him.
You mean this case was tried?
Wasn't tried after the prosecuting attorney talked to the witnesses he had. She didn't feel that it was necessary to move forward because if we went to jury, we wouldn't have got anywhere because it was an attack on my character.
But this is the case on which you based your complaint. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Because she had you arrested not at the time of this incident for Thanksgiving, but she waited. Isn't that right, Miss Welch? Because when you called the police because he said bad things to your son. You had not gone to the police with regard to this incident where he pushed you and bit you, according to you. You did not go to the police until, according to you, he said some things to your son that you didn't like, and then you decided to go to the police and report the domestic violence. Isn't that what I read?
That's pretty much what you read, because if he's calling my son names...
Exactly. I just answered my question, my dear. It wasn't until after he called your son a name that you went to the police and complained about this incident that had happened days before. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me about the incident involving your son.
We were sitting there. He'd been drinking the whole day again. My son was playing, and he called him stupid, called him retarded. And I know if he's calling my son names, he's going to hit my son next. He hit me. It ain't going to happen. Nobody's going to touch my son.
Well, he didn't touch him, did he?
No, he didn't. But if he has the audacity to call my son stupid and retarded, this is also the same man that has the audacity to assault a woman. He has the audacity to assault a child, too.
Why didn't you move?
I had nowhere to go. I don't have family in Idaho.
Well, listen to me. You know this man for a couple of months. This man isn't your life. You're there with your mother. Go to a shelter. I mean, why are you staying there? This isn't your husband. You don't have a child together. You don't have a life together. He had a house. You needed a place to stay. Mr. Miller says that you moved a friend into the house. Is that true?
No, I did not.
Did you have a friend come to stay with you for a period of time, Miss Welch?
I had...
Just look at me. Don't look at him. Look at me.
I had a friend stay for a couple of weeks.
And the friend's name?
His name is Tony.
Tony what? And how long do you know Tony?
I had known him before Chris. I had known him for about 5 months.
Where did you know him from?
From the same place I met Chris, work.
And why did you invite him to stay at a house?
He had just gotten out of jail. He came, he came and he needed a place to stay, so I let him stay.
Was Mr. Miller in agreement with that?
He said that first night that Tony stayed that yes, he was in agreement with it.
Yes, Mr. Miller.
Ma'am, she moved Tony in. I was not aware it was her ex-boyfriend.
Look at me. Don't look at her.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. Apologize. Ma'am, it was her ex-boyfriend. He came on the 12th, on Friday, when this assault supposedly was supposed to happen, ma'am. On the 14th, I came to her and asked, why is he still there? She told me he got a job, he will be moving out. On the 14th, it's when the cops came to arrest me, ma'am. When I was arrested, she got a restraining order. As soon as I left the jail, I bailed out, ma'am. I was no longer welcome back in my home.
Where was Tony?
Living there, man, in my bedroom. And I do have a letter saying that...
Don't tell me a letter. I don't do letter.
Okay, ma'am, it's a letter from her to Tony. Sorry.
Oh, a letter from her?
To Tony.
That I'll see. Show this to the defendant, would you? What date did you write that?
It was February of this year.
Where were you living?
I was living in the house where I'm still currently residing, where Mr. Miller moved out of.
So you're still there?
Yes.
Can I have that note back, please? How come you're still there?
My mom and I are trying to save up enough money to find a new place to live. It's kind of hard. We're having a little trouble getting the money up.
So
to
Tony's
find
sort
a
of
place.
helping you?
No, Tony's no longer around.
When did he leave?
Tony left, it had to be March this year. He wasn't living in the house. He had his own place, and I was going to move in with him, but I found out he's been hanging out with Mr. Miller, so I decided that was not the best.
You have a 3-year-old child?
Yes.
Why don't you grow up? Why don't you grow up?
I'm working on that.
You're not working hard enough. You keep picking losers, that's your business. If Mr. Miller is honest with himself, and right now he is probably clean and sober, he knows that he's not a winner. Is that a fair statement, Mr. Miller?
Yes, that is a very fair statement, ma'am.
And clearly Tony, who just got released from prison and needed a place to stay, is also not a winner. And you and your mother, who didn't have a place to stay, 2 adult women with jobs who couldn't find a safe place to stay for their 3-year-old son and grandson, clearly are not winners. You better grow up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
After 72 hours, it's not toxic.
Well, did your bird die within 72 hours?
It died immediately of him standing with the process.
Well, then what I'm telling you, madam, is you should have taken your animals out of the house.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Christopher Miller says ex-girlfriend Jessica Welch took out a false restraining order against him. Jessica claims Christopher physically abused her and verbally abused her young son.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, ma'am.
You probably don't remember what happened the night in November when things got a little tacky with Miss Welch. There isn't a question in my mind that she used you. There is also not a question in my mind that the reason you called the police, Miss Welch, is that you wanted him out of the house so that Tony could be there unencumbered. Not that he called your son stupid, but that he had already told you. Tony was going. And Tony didn't go. Tony stayed, according to you, for 2 weeks after he was out of the house. At least 2 weeks. So I think you had an ulterior motive for calling the police on him and having him arrested and having him removed from his house. Mr. Miller, I think that your conduct in getting sloshed and not acting appropriately didn't help things. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
But I don't think that Miss Welch filed for a protective order because she was legitimately afraid of you, which is the only reason that you filed for a protective order. Not for another reason, not because you want an apartment, you want a house, you want him out so that you could bring another boyfriend. And those aren't legitimate reasons for filing for a protective order, because you've sworn in your application for a protective order that you are in fear. And you weren't in fear. You were only in fear if the two men stayed in the house with you at the same time. So, Mr. Miller, I think that you behaved probably a little bit badly, but certainly that was not the reason that you called the police. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of bail, $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Her boss, her co-worker, and her ex-boyfriend was on my side, too.
He wins again.
Even the good guys win at times.
I have a good heart and I'm a good person.
Judge Judy's the bomb.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lubbock versus Nunez, step forward, please.
Real estate agent Donna Lubbock is suing business owner Jack Nunez for the cost to replace 3 parrots. Donna says the birds died after Jack sanded her floors.
Miss Lubbock, how old are you?
35.
What do you do for a living?
I sell real estate.
How long have you been a real estate agent?
Almost 4 years.
Do you have any college degrees behind you?
No degrees, but I have 2 years of junior college.
And your husband?
He's a deputy sheriff.
You have ongoing training?
Yes, ma'am.
And you, sir, what do you do for a living?
I'm a tile contractor
How long have you been doing that?
since '73.
Okay, now let's get to the case. Miss Lubbock, you had 3 parrots. How long had you had them?
My oldest African gray I had for approximately 15, 16 years.
And what's their life expectancy?
40 to 60 years.
And the other 2?
My severe macaw I had for about 3.5 years, and also for my Timna.
And this is what the lawsuit is about. You hired Mr. Nunez to come in and sand your floors in your house and seal them. And he did that.
Correct.
And your parrots died.
Correct.
So you want him to pay for your parrots, their vet bills, the casket, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
What did you do in preparation to your house to have your floors sanded?
We didn't do anything. We just took the birds outside.
When you sand floors, what comes up?
Generally dust, but he was using a wet sander, so you don't see dust particles flying all over.
So you're telling me there wasn't any dust in your house?
My birds, I had taken them outside.
I'm not asking you about your birds now. I'm just asking you generally.
Oh.
When you sand floors, there's usually
Dust.
dust. You don't have to be a college graduate to figure that out. 35-year-old real estate agent with 2 years of college could figure that out, that you have dust. And when you seal the floors after the sanding, they seal it with?
Chemicals.
And the chemicals usually?
Toxic.
Don't know toxic, but they usually smell.
Yes.
And they do have places where you can board animals while you're doing things in the house, just as if you were going away. Who are you?
I'm Donna's mother, and I was...
Do you
there.
live with them?
No, I don't.
You have your own house?
Yes, I do.
Could have taken your birds to your mother's house.
Yes.
You chose to keep your birds home. One, I understand from your complaint, died outside. 2 of them, however, died in the house. That's your fault. That's not his fault. If you had a baby, do you have children?
I do, and she was also in the house. We were
that is
outside.
something clearly wrong
We
with
were
you.
outside when this happened. We had gone outside, and they opened the windows. My birds were on the patio outside of what we thought was harm's way. He never told us that there'd be a toxic gas. You could not smell the dust. You couldn't see the dust in the air.
Why were you outside?
Because it was a nice day, and we were trying to stay out of their way.
Well, if that's the only reason that you were staying outside, I'm glad your child is well. You have to accept responsibility. This was your fault, not his fault, because if you're having somebody come in and whip up dust, whether they use a wet process or a dry process, it whips up dust. When you seal it, it stinks.
It was already sealed, and we went to the manufacturers. After 72 hours, it's not toxic.
Well, did your bird die within 72 hours?
It died immediately of him sanding the process.
Well, then what I'm telling you, madam, is you should have taken your animals out of the house. That's your responsibility. And if you didn't take them far enough away from the house, that's your responsibility. That's not
It's his
Mr.
responsibility
Nunez's
to tell me the
responsibility.
dangers
Miss
of-
Lovick, it's harder to accept responsibility for the death of your birds than it is to blame it on somebody else. Life starts with accepting responsibility. It's your fault.
I tried to expect responsibility for the death of my birds. I only asked for him to pay the vet bill. There's
Just a
no way.
second, if you accept responsibility...
He agreed to pay my vet bill.
I'm speaking. If you accept responsibility for the death of your birds, he doesn't pay anything.
He never once mentioned that there was a toxic chemical or gas that could be released from sanding our floors. The birds were outside. They opened the windows, and that's what exposed the birds to the fumes and the silica.
Miss Lovett, accept responsibility. It's your fault. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 28 on the calendar in the matter of Hamilton versus Hamilton. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mrs. Hamilton, this is your stepson. Is this your husband?
Yes.
Oh, a little background. I gather from your complaint and your answer that you were divorced.
Yes, ma'am.
From his mother. You can step up here, sir. And for most of his life, you'd had very little contact.
That's correct.
More recently, you contacted him, or you contacted your father. Which way?
I contacted him.
Your son contacted you, and you began to build a relationship. Now, Jason has had a troubled adolescence. Is that a fair statement, Jason?
Yeah.
And it is your claim, Mrs. Hamilton, that your funds were used to help Jason out when he got us into some trouble with the law.
Yes.
For an attorney, for restitution payments, and at that time he was in fact living with you.
Yes.
To live with you. Jason says that the lawyer was your idea. He was perfectly happy with the public defender, and that the restitution he has paid for by working it off while he was living with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with you, Jason. How old are you?
22.
What were you in trouble for, Jason?
Aggravated harassment and stalking in the fourth from my ex-girlfriend.
Okay, so let me hear about the first loan that you claim for his lawyer.
When we bailed Jason out on September 18th of last year, Jason was not happy with his public defender at all. He verbalized this to both my husband and myself.
What did he say?
He said he didn't feel that he was going to fight for him. He was going to, he felt that the public defender just wanted him to plea out to anything and get the case over and done with as quickly as possible. And Jason did not want to do that. He wanted to fight it. He didn't want to be charged, and he didn't want to violate his parole from his previous court case and actions on that.
What were you on parole for, Jason?
Arson.
What burned down, Jason?
Garage.
Go ahead.
On his first court date after he was bailed out, we went and got him an attorney.
Who's we?
My husband and I.
Go ahead.
After that, as far as with the restitution, initially he had to live with us as part of us bailing him out. And when we decided we were moving out of the area, he was given the option to move with us or stay in the area, and we would figure something out and work it out. He decided that he did want to move with us. So my husband and I paid that restitution from his previous case in order to free it up.
Case?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other part of the restitution was for the current case. After everything was settled, there was $100 restitution.
So he
from
pled
that.
guilty. You pled guilty in the current case involving your ex-girlfriend.
Right. I couldn't afford the lawyer anymore, so I had no choice. And I can't...
Were you at that time that the matter was scheduled for trial still living with your father and stepmother?
No.
Did you ever pay the lawyer any money?
No.
So it was just a $1,000 retainer that you paid the lawyer?
Correct.
Yes.
That was after Jason moved out, after
Correct.
you had the altercation in your house with him?
Yes.
Mrs. Hamilton, so far I haven't heard anything about a loan.
Before Jason was bailed out, on the phone conversations, he was informed that anything that was pertaining to this legal case was a loan and was to be paid back. That was one of the conditions of him being bailed out. Jason made comments about how he was not like his sister, who also we had a problem with before that. He was not like his sister, and he would pay us back that money. That was said numerous times, and at the end of Jason's stay in our house, because everything was a loan, I had him sign a promissory note.
Well, I know Jason says that note, you sort of forced him to sign the note because you said you were going to have his bail revoked if he didn't sign the note.
That was not
Jason,
how it was
well, I'm
worded.
going to turn over to you now, Jason.
When I was on the phone with them before I was bailed out, I was not told that it was a loan.
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
I moved in with them. I did not know I was going to move in with them. I thought they were going to bail me out, take me home. But instead they brought me to their place, worked for them. My work would be to pay off whatever I did.
Well, what kind of work did you do, Jason?
I helped him their construction business.
What did you do?
Labor. It was, unload the truck, load the truck, help my father, stuff like that. As far as me with my restitution, like I said, I never asked for the money. I never asked for any of it. I just simply said, when they went to pay it, I said, you don't have to do that. They said, oh, no, don't worry about it. I said,
No,
okay.
that's not what parents say, Jason. They don't use the word, oh, don't worry about it. They might have said, when you get yourself together, we hope you'll pay us back. Does that sound right? Huh?
Yes, yes.
That sounds right. Life is so simple, Mrs. Hamilton. That's what parents say, even if they have an ongoing relationship with their children, if money is tight in a household. You don't say, well, this is a loan, and you will pay me back so much each month on this loan.
Your Honor,
Now,
in the beginning, he did agree. Before I bailed him out, I told him, if I bail you out, you've got to pay this money back in a timely fashion, and you've got to get your act together, because the lifestyle he was living is totally, I'm afraid he's going to end up in jail for the rest of his life.
Where's your mother?
She's back in Buffalo.
Did you live with her all your life?
Yes.
Are you still in touch with her?
I live with her right now.
You have a sister?
Yes, I do.
How old's your sister?
19.
She in trouble?
No.
What kind of trouble?
Well, when we had her with us, she steals, she lies,
She's never been to jail, but she is a very emotionally troubled person, and she's been in and out of, she was in a group home at one point.
Jason, tell me about the conversation you had with your father about the lawyer, about the public defender.
I was going to get a new PD to begin with, because the guy that was representing me, he just didn't know what he was talking about. He had no clue.
What do you mean? Just a second. What do you mean you were going to get a new PD, public defender? You think that they give them out if you don't like one, you get a chance to get another one?
Well, that's what they were going to do. When I got
You live in a very good jurisdiction. If a criminal defendant came before me and said, I don't like that lawyer, I want to get another lawyer, you know what I would say to them? Go hire your own lawyer. You want to pick and choose? Go hire your own lawyer. This is the public defender for the day. You don't like this one? Get some money and go hire your own lawyer. You know, this is not one from column A and one from column B. You get one chance. Do you understand, Jason?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. Are you working now?
Yes, I am.
What kind of work are you doing?
I'm a barback at a banquet hall.
Hope this New York State Liquor Authority doesn't know about that. Is this arson conviction that you have, a felony arson?
Yes.
Woo-hoo. Hope they don't value their liquor license. Listen to me, Jason. I want you to listen to me very carefully. I am not so concerned about the $1,000 that your stepmother and stepfather put up for the lawyer. I think they're going to have to tolerate that, because I think that that's what parents do if they're afraid that their child is going to be confined. And I'm not so sure that that was a loan. But I'm concerned about the restitution, Jason, because what possible value is it to your moral compass if somebody else pays your restitution? Restitution is what you're supposed to pay, right?
I understand that. I was paying it.
How? I don't understand how you
I
were
was
paying.
working
with money I
beforehand.
gave him.
Just a second.
Not just money you gave me. I was doing odd jobs here and there.
Well, you paid some of it, but they paid
Yeah,
the
I was
rest.
paying on
Just
it.
a second. But they paid the rest. Well, paying the rest, it doesn't teach you any kind of a lesson. That's your responsibility. That's not your father's responsibility. That's not your stepmother's responsibility. That's your responsibility. The criminal justice system doesn't want to see. What do you do for a living?
I'm a real estate investor.
Doesn't want to see this lady who works. What do you do for a living?
I'm an investor also.
I don't know what that means, but life is too short.
Buy real estate.
They don't want to see their money going to pay your restitution. They didn't set fire to the garage and they didn't stalk your girlfriend.
I didn't either.
Well, then you lied to the court, sir, when you pled guilty.
I had no. What am I going to do if I ain't got money?
You know what innocent people do? They go to trial.
You have.
Just a second, Jason. You're 22 years old. Is that what you
Yes.
told me before? How many times have you been arrested? Think. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. How many times have you been arrested?
13 times.
13. Shh. Come on. 13 times, 22 years old. And how many convictions do you have, Jason?
I have 4 convictions.
I have 5 children. How many kids you got?
4.
9 children altogether. Not one arrest.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Miss Knapp, if someone tried to kill me with a car, I wouldn't get into bed with them for a deductible or anything else.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Han Hamilton says her stepson, Jason Hamilton, owes for loans to retain an attorney and to pay restitution. Nicole says Jason has been arrested for arson and stalking.
You've been arrested 13 times. That cannot all be a mistake. The 4 times that you were convicted is not a mistake. The last 2 times that you pled guilty, I mean, you know the system, evidently. You're smart enough to know the system, that if you want a new PD, all you got to do is stamp your feet around, say, I'm not getting good representation. What you're supposed to do is not do things that get you into any trouble. Do you understand?
I know that.
Okay. And if you didn't learn the first time, and if you didn't learn the second time, the 10th time, you should have learned. By the time you got to the 12th time, it should have been bells go off in your head. Now you're at unlucky 13. Jason, you're 22 years old. You want to die?
No.
You don't care?
No, I care. I'm working now. I'm going for my GED. I have my life on track.
Good.
That's
then
what
pay your restitution. The lawyer, it's yours.
I just wanted him to learn a lesson.
He's going to pay his
responsibility.
restitution. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $695. That's all.
Thank you, Al.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I look at them as just white trash. What are they going to do? Sue their own son when he hits 18 for all the stuff that they paid for him?
As people can see, he's a punk. He'll always be a punk. I wash my hands with him. I got a beautiful 14-month-old son. I'm doing it right this time.
Smoking pot. I'm in probation. I don't want to get involved in no pot.
He's the one that smokes the pot, and I told him I didn't want it in my house.
I don't have a father. That's the way I look at it.
I'm here to guide you and show you the proper way. If you don't want to do that, I'm done.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Knapp versus Wheeler. Step forward.
Delivery truck driver Barbara Knapp is suing her ex-boyfriend, steelworker Claude Wheeler, for purposely driving her van into a ditch. Claude claims he swerved to miss a deer.
Ms. Knapp, it is your claim that Mr. Wheeler, who used to be your boyfriend, wrecked your car.
Correct.
And in addition to the damages to the car, you want some money for pain and suffering. I don't know what pain and suffering you want. You'll, I'm sure, explain it to me. Tell me about the day of the incident.
Okay, on December 28th, I do believe, we went grocery shopping, stopped at a bar and had a few drinks and was coming home and...
Okay, what time did you get to the bar?
8 o'clock.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m.
And how long did you stay at the bar?
Oh, possibly an hour maybe. No, not that long, because we had groceries in the car, so about an hour then, say.
Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Okay, you stopped at a bar, groceries in the car, went home, on your way back to put the grocery...
On our way back home, and we were discussing just things, and an old boyfriend was brought up because he was apparently came into the bar, and I had made his comment that he's still loving my life, and he didn't like it, so I don't know what was said, but then he swatted me upside the head, in the back of the head, and then I had told him that that was it and it was over, and he proceeded to say, oh, I'll show you that, and he drove my car down into the ditch. The next thing you know, a pole's coming, and we were headed straight for the pole, and he turned it just enough to go past the pole, but in the meantime, we kind of got wedged into the ditch and had to go out the windows to get out, and then I was just kind of in shock, I do believe, and
okay.
That was that.
Well, we were driving home that night. I had a few drinks, and we were arguing, and I was looking at her.
Try looking at me.
I don't recall slapping her upside the head or striking her. We were arguing, and I was looking at her, and when I turned my eyes back to the road, there were deer in the road, and I swerved to the right to miss the deer, and as soon as we got to the edge of the road, the snow sucked us into the ditch. I didn't do it intentionally.
Don't remember the deer?
There was no deer. He did it on purpose.
And you issued a report?
Mm-hmm.
You have a copy of that report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
That is the traffic report. Okay.
Shh. You have any other police reports?
No, I went to the trooper's barracks to try to get the actual report from my statement and his statement, but apparently they do not let that out. They don't.
Your Honor, I have a signed statement of her from the night of the accident.
Can I see it, please? That's what I'm looking for. Well, you did sign a statement on the 28th of December, Ms. Knapp. You didn't say anything about him purposely damaging your car. You say at about 2 or 3 o'clock, my boyfriend was at my house. He had a margarita, which was left over from last night. At about 7 o'clock, we went grocery shopping at Wegmans and then went to Jit's Bar for a couple of beers and pool. He had 2 or 3 beers there. Then we started home. Claude was driving. I wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden we were going towards the ditch. I didn't see if there was a deer, just that he was going towards the ditch. You didn't tell the police that he tried to kill both of you?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I just was still in shock from all of it, and I just didn't. I just was going to go with the story with the deer because I just was in shock because that's what he wanted me to say, and I just didn't.
What happened?
Notice, Penal Law Section 210.45, in a written instrument, any person who knowingly makes a false statement which such person does not believe to be true has committed a crime under the laws of the state of New York and is punishable by a Class A misdemeanor. And that's what you signed.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any reason why you think, Ms. Knapp, that I should believe you now? Ms. Knapp, I have a couple more questions for you. When did you and the defendant separate?
It was,
around the 1st of February.
So between December 28th and the 1st of February, you still lived together?
No, we did not live together.
We just dated.
And you dated the same way that you were dated before?
Pretty much.
It wasn't not in my eyes, because it was over in my eyes, and I just wanted to get a deductible from him, so I kind of...
Which I did pay. I paid the $500 deductible.
Yes. But I figured if I broke up with him, I wouldn't have seen any money or nothing, so I kind of just had to hang in there to get my deductible. And
then a month and a half later, 2 months down the road, she's after with this $5,000.
That's not going to happen.
Thank you.
Ms. Knapp, if someone tried to kill me with a car, I wouldn't get into bed with them for a deductible or anything else. And if you did, that's your problem. Bye. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was jealous of...
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Frederick, the defendant is your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, and it is your claim that you both found yourself at the same bar and that Mr. Abbasi assaulted you at the bar, causing you to fracture your ankle. You want him to pay all of your expenses relative to that assault and also some punitive damages. Mr. Abbasi says that you were the aggressor that night. He didn't see you injure yourself, and if it wasn't for your aggressive behavior, none of this would have happened. That's your defense. Is that right?
Yes.
When did this incident occur?
The night of February 7th, approximately 10:30.
And what was the name of the establishment that you were visiting?
The Horseshoe Pub.
What time did you arrive there?
Approximately 10 o'clock, I believe.
When you got there, was the defendant there?
Yes, I did know who he was. I'd never met him before that time.
Had you been to this bar before?
Yes, not very much. I don't go out to bars very often.
What prompted you to go there this evening?
Just to get out for a little while. I was supposed to meet my girlfriend there a little later.
Well, did you meet her there?
Yes, she came in probably about an hour later.
Before she arrived, you didn't know who this gentleman was?
Right.
When your girlfriend arrived, she advised you who this was?
Yes, when she saw him.
And you didn't know who he was, sir, when he arrived there, is that right?
I didn't.
How long has this young lady been your girlfriend? Or how long had she been your girlfriend on February 7th?
For 4 months, approximately.
How long had you been separated from her?
About 3 months.
You mean there was a month overlap?
Yeah, I believe they were 3 months in the relationship, not 4 months.
Did she leave you for him?
Yeah.
How long had you been together?
About 1.5 years.
Were you upset?
Yeah.
Had you lived together?
Yeah.
So she left you...
She was cheating on me.
With him?
Yeah.
And left the home that you shared to move in with you?
Yes. She wasn't cheating, Your Honor.
But she moved in with you immediately after she left him?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right, so tell me what happened.
Well, on that night...
After your girlfriend arrived. We're at the point where your girlfriend arrived at the bar.
Okay. After she arrived, I noticed, well, she had told me who Mr. Abbasi was. At that point then, I acknowledged him.
How did you acknowledge him?
Well, after my girlfriend had told me who he was.
How did you acknowledge him, is my question. Did you shake his hand? Did you go over and say, hello, I'd like to introduce myself? How did you acknowledge him?
No, nothing like that.
Just tell me how you acknowledged him.
I just looked at him. That was it.
Okay.
After that, I didn't say anything, didn't do anything. She wanted to leave, which I probably should have taken her.
That was very smart of her.
Yes, it was.
She said, he's here and I want to leave.
Yes.
And you said...
I wanted to stick or I wanted to stay.
Me?
I should have went with her, decision. Afterwards, probably, I'd say 15, 20 minutes afterwards, Mr. Abbasi just started to look my way, and at both Lucy and I, and adjacent to him was a lady, and he was more or less smiling, laughing, pointing at us, and I just wanted to know what was going on. So I more or less shrugged my hands up.
How far were you from him when you did that?
Maybe 20 feet.
It's not far.
Not very far, right. After that, basically, he got up in anger. At that point, he started really prancing or almost running towards me on the other side of the bar. And I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't know if he wanted to fight. I didn't know if he wanted to talk. So I got up and I met him halfway through the bar. At that point, I lost him in the crowd. There were a lot of people there. And after that, he shoved me after he saw me, and I didn't know where he was. I fell back into the crowd, and I tried to regain my balance. And after I tried to regain my balance, he shoved me again. This time, I fell backwards in an awkward way and broke my ankle.
Now, your version of the events, Mr. Abbasi.
He waved me over to fight.
Show me how he did that.
By putting his hands over like
he
that.
Went like that?
Yeah, calling me, saying he's going to kick my butt. We met simultaneously.
I don't want you to make things up as you're going along, Mr. Abbasi. Listen to me. Are you telling me from across the bar you heard him say something to you?
No.
Or you're just showing me this?
I heard him say he's going to kick my butt and wave me over. And then...
And what did you do?
We both simultaneously...
No. So he waved you over to come over because he wanted to fight with you.
Yeah.
And you being the intelligent, sober guy that you are...
I wasn't sober.
Oh, you weren't? Well, that accounts for something. So you were drunk.
Yeah.
So he waved you over, and you went over to fight with him.
Well, I was just thinking we were going to stick chests and try and talk it down, but then when I seen his fist come in, I had to push him.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
No, I don't want to hear you. So continue. Let's keep going. So you got over there. He's waving you on, saying he's going to kick your butt. You go over there to butt chests with him because that's all you thought he was going to do. You saw him fist up his hand, and so you pushed him.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how he hurt his ankle. If he hurt his ankle at all.
He claims that my shove threw him 10 feet across the room into a pool table, causing his ankle to break in 3 spots.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You visit your troubles on me and the taxpayer because this process cost money. And because you decided to be a macho jerk, you cost the taxpayer money.
And later today...
For slow play, any reasonable experienced golfer would walk to their ball so that you don't delay play, because slow play is the #1 problem with golfing.
No, the #1 problem with golfing is getting hit with a golf ball.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Frederick says he was attacked by his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, David Abbasi. David says James instigated the fight.
Now I'll hear you. Step up. Who are you?
I'm the bartender that night.
Let me ask you this. What's your last name?
Banks.
Miss Banks, you know Mr. Abbasi and his girlfriend. Is that right?
Yes.
And how long have you seen Mr. Frederick come in the
I
bar?
only had seen him that one night.
Where do you come from?
Palmdale.
And this bar is in Palmdale?
Yes.
How many bars are there in Palmdale?
4 or 5.
Mr. Frederick, what prompted you to go to that bar this evening? Because you went there by yourself and you were meeting Lucy there, right?
Yes.
But Lucy was the one who suggested the Horseshoe Club?
Actually, I was.
Really? And Lucy didn't say to you, no, I don't want to go there because I used to go there with David?
Well, that was brought up, but I reassured her it was all right.
You're a troublemaker.
I didn't see any problem. I didn't know David.
You didn't see any problem? Mr. Frederick, if you weren't looking for trouble for one reason or another, sir, you wouldn't have gone to the bar if she gave you prior notice that this is a place where David would hang out. And when she arrived and she saw him there and she said to you, let's go, I feel uncomfortable. And you said, not me, I'm not going anywhere. I want to sit here. So despite the fact that she was uncomfortable and that the presence of the two of you was just an exacerbating circumstance, you decided to stay. Now, I'm not sure about on a legal level, but on a moral level, you got what you deserved. You look for trouble, it's going to find you. You know, there's certain things your grandmother says to you that are true. And one of them is, if you look for trouble, you're going to find it. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you visit your troubles on me and the taxpayer. Because this process cost money. And because you decided to be a macho jerk, you cost the taxpayer money. Whether it's in this court and any other court. You're gobbling up court time for people who really have cases over which they had no control. You had plenty of control. I didn't go to another one of the 4 bars in Palmdale. Or when you went in there and you saw him there, you knew who he was, and Lucy said, let's go. You got up, paid for the drink, and you leave. Right?
Right. That's what my plan was, but I didn't take fast enough action.
Okay. Did you file a police complaint, Mr. Frederick?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it, please.
I filed that the day after.
Why the day after, sir?
I was going to file it at the bar, and had I done so, he would have been incarcerated. I wanted to take care of my ankle. It was hurting and it was broken. So
you went immediately from the bar to the emergency room?
Yes.
Okay. Well, evidently they did an investigation, and they didn't arrest Mr. Abbasi for assault. Do you know why, sir?
Basically, they couldn't find him, and DA didn't want to prosecute because it's a typical bar fight. They see it a lot, so they didn't feel it.
Because it's just as possible that you lost your balance because you were drunk.
I wasn't that drunk, Your Honor.
How do I know that? You don't have to be that drunk to trip. Mr. Frederick, I said something to you before, sir, and what I said, you may sit down. What I said to you before is if you look for trouble, you're going to find it. Now, I don't necessarily think that it was Mr. Abbasi's intention to get into a confrontation with you that evening, but it is clear to me that it was your intention to get into a confrontation with him. I say that for the following reasons. I am now summing up. Your girlfriend told you that she was going to meet you that evening. You discussed going to the Horseshoe Bar. She said, I don't think I want to go to the Horseshoe Bar because that's where David hangs out. You said, I don't care, I'll meet you there, don't be ridiculous. You go there, and sure enough, when she shows up an hour later, after you've had a couple of drinks, she says to you, I don't want to stay because David's at the other side of the bar. And you say, I don't care. Let's see what goes down if we stay here. It seemed to me, Mr. Frederick, you got the girl. You should be a happy guy. You shouldn't be looking for trouble. The girl that you're living with, the girl that you're happy with says, I'm not comfortable here. You pick yourself up and you leave. Chose not to do that. He pushed you. You fell. You broke your ankle. That's an accident. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The man's got issues where he can't get over his ex-girlfriend.
He wanted to show me he has her.
I didn't think he was, you know, a violent guy.
She wants to see us fighting over each other.
He was lucky he got away with this.
I'm just glad justice is done.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ng versus Riley. Step forward, please.
Eye care professional Monica Ng is suing her one-time golf partner, technical consultant Steve Riley, for medical and dental bills. Monica says she was hit in the face by Steve's golf ball.
Ms. Ng, according to your complaint, you were playing golf and you were in a foursome?
Yes.
And Mr. Riley was in your foursome?
Yes.
And you got hit with a golf ball that he sliced. You want him to pay for all of your medical bills, you had dental problems, et cetera, et cetera. And Mr. Riley says, sometimes happens when you play golf. Not every shot's a perfect shot. It's part of the risk you assume when you play the game. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this happen, Miss Eng?
On January 31st at the Lakewood Country Club.
And how long have you been playing golf with Mr. Riley?
I've never played with him before.
So you were teamed up that day?
By the starter at the country club.
What hole were you playing when this incident happened?
The 9th hole.
And who teed off first?
The guys teed off first, and then I teed off last because I tee off from the ladies' tees.
After you teed off, everyone left the tee, is that right?
Yes, we all walked to our balls.
And was your ball in front of Mr. Riley's ball?
It was horizontal, diagonal to his ball.
And he shot first?
Yes.
And you were watching him?
Yes, I was watching him the whole time.
Why didn't you stand behind where he was?
For slow play, any reasonable experienced golfer would walk to their ball so that you don't delay play, because slow play is the #1 problem with golfing.
No, the #1 problem with golfing is getting hit with a golf ball.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monica Ing says golf partner Steve Riley owes for medical and dental bills. Monica says they were on the 9th hole when Steve's golf ball hit her in the face.
So when I was reading your complaint, and I've been out on a golf course, although I am not a proficient golfer, since I don't know who I'm playing with, as you didn't know who you were playing with, and you're not sure of their skill, I wouldn't get into a position where you were anywhere in harm's way. I would stand well behind that person.
I felt I was not standing in a location where I was in harm's way.
But you were, right? Because you didn't play golf with him before. You didn't know whether he was a good player or a bad player, whether he sliced, whether he was straight, whatever. But you don't think that you have any responsibility to worry about yourself?
Yes, I have the responsibility to worry about myself, but I was standing in a location next to my ball. I was watching him the whole time.
You think he aimed at you?
No, he did not aim at me. It was an accident, but still, he's liable for any damages or injury caused by his actions, as stated in the golf course rules at the Lakewood Country Club.
Well, I'll take a look at the rules of the Lakewood Country Club and see what they say.
Safety practices.
Let me see what the safety practices are. Yeah, well, this says that any person entering or playing on the golf course assumes full responsibility for his or her personal safety. That's you. And property. Players are liable for any accident, injury, and or property damage caused by their actions. Well, you're saying that his actions caused you to be injured.
Correct.
I'm saying your actions caused you to be injured. Miss Eng, my dear, when you play golf, there's a golf ball. That golf ball doesn't always go where it's supposed to go. Have you watched professionals play golf?
Yes.
Have you seen professionals sometimes slice their ball and it goes into a gallery?
Yes.
You think that they're liable if their ball hits somebody? They're not. Players not liable. That's what the game is about. Somebody hits a very hard ball. Sometimes it goes where it's supposed to go. Sometimes it doesn't go where it's supposed to go. If it always went where it was supposed to go, nobody would watch the game.
We have a verbal agreement after the injury. He was very apologetic for hitting me.
Yes.
And he gave me a cellular number so I can contact him so that I can get his home address to mail him the medical expenses.
Did you say that you would cover the medical expenses, Mr. Riley?
What I said was that if she wanted to go to the emergency room right then, I would help her with expenses. I did not say I would cover a week off of work. I did not say
Absolutely not.
Right.
You're not responsible for a week
Right.
off from work. You're not responsible for her pain and suffering. You're not responsible for any of that.
Right.
So did you give him the medical bill from the emergency room?
I had not received it yet when I wrote him that certified letter.
Fine. What was your bill from the emergency room? $602 with the emergency bills. Is that right, sir? Now that you agreed to pay, according to you.
Yes.
Fine. Anything else?
Yes. A few months later, I noticed that the back of my tooth was swollen, and I went to the dentist, and that's when they told me that I have ligament damage due to trauma.
Could be. That's not what he agreed to pay for. He agreed to pay for your emergency room bills. But for the fact that he agreed to pay for the emergency room bills, he would not be responsible. You assumed the risk when you got on the golf course of whatever happens when you play golf, unless, of course, he picked up his club and flung the club in anger, or if he hit you with his club, or if he ran you over with a golf cart. That you don't assume the risk, but you do assume the risk that somebody may not hit the ball straight, so you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in harm's way. And if being in a position where you were a little bit of a slow player is more important than keeping yourself out of harm's way, that's a choice that you make. He can't guarantee where his golf ball is going to go. If he could, he'd be Tiger Woods' partner, right?
Absolutely.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $602. Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Ms. Starling, Mr. Bartelli was your former live-in boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he owes you a whole bunch of money. He owes you some money for rent. He owes you some money for some court costs that you laid out for him. You want him to pay for new tires for your car. All in all, you're really annoyed with him. I gather that Mr. Bartelli moved out unceremoniously with no notice. Is that right, sir?
I feel I don't owe her the money.
No. You moved out unceremoniously, which means that you didn't have a discussion with her, you didn't sit down and talk to her, you just packed up your things, you decided you had enough, and you just left.
Your Honor, I just fed up with it. I don't feel I should have...
Just say yes. Just say yes. That's what you said here.
Nah, I don't feel it's right.
Oh, this is going to be harder than I thought. I'm going to get to you in a second. All right, Miss Starling. I have to see if I'm playing now with a level playing field. Here we go, because I haven't asked you a question yet. When did you and Mr. Bartelli move into this apartment that you shared?
In October of 2003.
Had you lived together before?
Yes.
And when you moved into this apartment, did you both sign the lease?
Yes, we did.
Can
And I
I
have
see
a copy of that?
I don't think I didn't sign the lease.
Oh, take me back to the family court, please. Okay, so, Mr. Bartelli, it is your statement, sir, that you did not sign the lease. Is that, you did not sign the lease?
I don't remember signing the lease.
Ah, that's a different thing. Shut up. I believe you said I didn't sign no lease. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was a quote, because that was bad grammar. Now you say I don't remember signing the lease. Is that right, sir?
Yeah.
So then, Officer Byrd, would you please show Mr. Bartelli this witnessed signature on the lease?
It's your signature?
Yeah, but I don't remember signing it.
Mr. Bartelli?
You just don't remember.
Mr. Bartelli, that's possible that you don't remember signing it. But that doesn't mean you didn't sign it.
See, me and Miss Starling were together, and she sent roses and flowers to my office trying to get us back together. Then whenever I didn't comply to that, she took and sent me court papers.
Miss Starling, I don't want to hear from you. I want him. He's dying to say this. So you know what my sense is? If I let him say this maybe once, maybe he'll get it out of his system so that when I ask him questions, he'll give me a relevant answer. All right? So, Mr. Bartelli, go to it.
Excuse me?
All I said to you was, sir, the fact that you don't remember signing it is belied by the fact that you did actually sign it in front of a witness. And you started to tell me about flowers and candy that she sent you. And I didn't see how those two things were connected in any way.
Well, me and Miss Starling used to drink, and we quit drinking. We moved to Orlando, and she had lost her job, and her son moved in with us. So I feel I don't owe the money because I had to pay that money. And then she started drinking. That's why I left. And then when I left, she started sending flowers and stuff to my job, and then I didn't comply to that, and she sent me court papers.
Now he got it all out of his system, right? That's your whole story.
Yeah.
And you're sticking to it,
I feel
right?
I don't owe the money.
That's your story and you're sticking to it. Good. Now we have to go do this my way, which is collect information, right? And then I have to make a ruling on her lawsuit. Do you understand, Mr. Bartelli? What kind of work do you do, sir?
I do carpentry work.
Okay. Which I assume you understand very well. Good. This is what I understand. I understand evidence. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you signed a lease on the apartment in October of 2003. And when did he move out?
April 3rd, 2004.
Now, you moved out, sir, because according to what you said in your mentally prepared statement, she started to drink again, you didn't want to live with her anymore.
Yeah.
So you want to tell me whether you discussed moving out, or you didn't discuss moving out, or you just packed your bags one day and left?
I just packed my bag and left.
If you just packed your bags one day and left, sir, you are still responsible, at least partially, on this lease. You signed a lease obligating yourself to pay half the rent for a period of time. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do you think that you shouldn't be held responsible for at least paying the rent until such time as she can secure someone else that she wants to live with, if that's at all possible?
Well, I feel I didn't ask her for money whenever she had lost her job and her son had moved in with us, and I didn't ask for money back for that. So why should I have to pay that?
How much
rent?
were you supposed to pay in rent, Mr. Bartelli?
The rent's $1,000 a month.
So your half was $500?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you expect her to cover the other $500 a month for the remainder of the lease?
Yeah, but see, I didn't ask her for money for the electric and food and stuff like that.
I paid her. Okay. All right. Now, you also claim that you helped him out when he was arrested a while ago by giving him $500 to pay for some bad checks that he had written. And Mr. Bartelli, you don't deny that you had gotten yourself into some criminal trouble.
No, I don't deny, but see, all of our money was in together.
No.
She might have paid that, but I paid this.
Listen!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So is what you're telling me after you wrote this series of bad checks, you decided to open up a joint checking account with you?
No way.
Yeah, just to say.
Right, no way.
And later today,
I reached back and pulled the chair up so I could sit down. He had pulled that chair, and I fell down. And I yelled, "Philip, why did you move that chair?" He laughed.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diane Starling says ex-boyfriend Frank Bartelli owes for unpaid rent and a loan for tires. Frank says he and Diane shared their money.
Let me remind you what you said, sir, in your answer. You said, I don't deny that she gave me the money for these bad checks.
Yeah.
How did you pay her back for the jail bail money?
Well, she had borrowed the money from her brother. And like I said, we worked and all of her money was in one bank account. So she might have took the money out to pay that, but we took my money out to pay other bills. So all of her money was in the same account.
But you said that she borrowed that $500 from her brother.
Yeah, she paid her brother.
So if she borrowed that $500 from her brother, did you pay her brother back the $500?
Yeah, she sent checks to her brother.
She sent her checks to her brother for the $500.
Mm-hmm.
And the $500 was coming out of a bank account that you both pooled your money for household expenses. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
No, everything.
What's everything?
All of her money was in the same account. My whole check gets deposited, and hers did too.
Well, was this bad check money an expense that you anticipated?
No, this is all of her money was in the same account.
Try to listen to what I'm saying, Mr. Bartelli. When you wrote the bad checks, did you know you were going to have to pay him back?
Yes.
So why did you write them?
At the time, I didn't have no money, didn't have a choice.
So it was always your intention to pay back the money for the bad checks, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In what year did you write the bad checks?
2002.
And when did they finally catch up with you?
2003.
On what checking account did you write the bad checks?
That was out of my checking account.
Why didn't you use your joint account that you had with her?
Because we didn't have that account at that time.
So is what you're telling me after you wrote this series of bad checks, you decided to open up a joint checking account with you?
No way.
Yeah, just to say. I just got
no
a savings. I just got a savings account. She got a
So you
checking
didn't have a joint checking account?
No.
No.
Please.
All right. Now let's get to the tires. He used your truck, and after he left, you found the tires needed to be replaced.
They were bald.
They were
With
bald.
wires
Well,
showing
that's
this
your
much.
fault. Listen, Diane, darling, you let him use the truck, right?
Right. I didn't notice
long-
they were so bad.
Listen to me. Well, you should have noticed. Mr. Bartelli, I know that you don't feel as if you owe Miss Starling any money, but you do. You can't just decide that you are fed up and pack up your bags and move out, because that's immature and it's irresponsible and it's sticking someone else. with a big obligation that they didn't anticipate paying by themselves. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe her $2,500 for the rent. She also helped you out by borrowing money from her brother, and you didn't pay her back. Despite all your speeches, you didn't pay her back. So I'm entering a judgment in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $3,000. Do the right thing, Mr. Bartelli, that's all.
Parties are
Thank you.
excused. You may step out.
I think it went very well. I'm glad that Mr. Bartelli is being held accountable for what he did to me.
She just upset because I left her.
Well, I wanted to ask him to step outside, but he was too small.
She just left messages begging me to come back, and I wouldn't do it.
I miss him. He was a good guy, basically.
I hope we could be friends.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Elliott versus Worsham, step forward, please.
Plaintiff Sheila Elliott is suing casino owner Ken Worsham for pain and suffering due to an accident in his casino. Sheila says she fell to the ground when a worker removed a chair from underneath her during a game of Texas Hold'em.
Mr. Worsham, do you operate a casino? Is that what you do?
Yes.
Where is the casino?
Sacramento.
According to what I've read, Miss Elliott, you were playing some sort of a game, Texas Poker?
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em. I'm trying to figure out how this game was played, but I gather that there are 10 players to start with. Is that right, sir?
Normally there's 9.
And when one person leaves, they take away that spot, and it goes to fewer people and fewer people, almost like musical chairs. Miss Elliott was playing this Texas Hold'em, and according to you, you went to sit down, and one of the employees of the casino had removed the chair that you were going to sit on. Is that right?
At the time, the chair was there.
Well, when you went to sit down, the chair wasn't there.
Yeah, when I went to sit down, it was gone.
And you fell.
Yes.
And you want Mr. Worsham
Worsham.
to pay you $5,000.
Yes.
What time did you start to play Texas Hold'em?
I started there early in the afternoon.
What date? Can we date?
On the 2nd.
2nd of what?
Of January.
And what time did this incident happen when you fell?
It happened like, to my recollection, I would say 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Anybody have a different time and date?
Yes, it happened about 6:30 a.m. in the morning.
So she fell about 6:30 a.m. in the morning.
That's
How do you
correct.
know that, sir?
We had a tape of it, of the incident.
And that's what the tape indicates?
Yes.
Okay. Is that possible?
No, it happened before then. Now, what his tape is showing, it could be. I didn't see this tape. I asked to see the tape.
That's not what I asked you. I said, could it have been at 6:30?
No, I believe it was before 6:30.
Who was the employee who was moving around the chairs?
Mr. Philip Leon.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheila Elliott says she was injured during a game of Texas Hold'em at Ken Worsham's casino. Sheila says a casino worker removed her chair while she was trying to sit down.
Miss Leon, you're an employee of Mr. Worsham's?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what time this incident happened?
I come and see play on the table and
What
around
time?
6:30.
You moved a chair, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me why you moved the chair?
Because got a player get off the table, so I get off the table. So I ask anybody want to move the chair. We have 10 seats.
Mr. Worsham, you're going to have to act as partial
Okay.
translator for me. I'm not following this.
Okay, well, he asked if anybody was going to move seats. And then when no one said they were going to move, then you take a chair out.
Okay. Is that what was basically happening? One chair was being taken away?
No, ma'am.
Well, tell me what your version of these events are.
My version is it was late in the morning.
Okay. Go ahead.
There were approximately about 6 to 7 players at the table, not 10.
Okay.
And not that many chairs.
Okay.
So what happened was Philip was reading a book for about maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So when I noticed that it was a few players and I had been sitting in this one particular seat for so long, I looked over at him reading the book. I said, Philip, can I move into that seat? He said, yeah, go ahead. Just like that. So it was me, a chair, and the third chair, the one I want to move into. So I didn't go behind the chairs. I came in front of the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my hand on the table like you normally do, as I do all the time. I reached back, because the chair, I felt the chair on the calf of my leg. I reached back to pull the chair up so I could sit down. No chair. He had pulled that chair immediately. And I yelled. I said, Philip, why did you move that chair? And he said, oh, and they all started laughing. He laughed. That's what made me so mad. And when I fell down, my fell on my left shoulder. And when I fell down, I felt something like in the back of my neck, back of my head, like And they was going to pull me up with this arm. And I said, no.
Miss Elliott, after you fell down, did you find a chair?
No, the chair wasn't there.
Shh. Did you find a chair to sit and continue playing that morning?
After they got me up?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I did.
And how many hours did you continue to play after you fell on your behind?
No,
just a second. Just answer my question. How many hours did you continue to play?
I stayed for several hours. I stayed there.
How many?
Oh, I
1
stayed
hour,
all, no.
2
no,
hours?
No, I stayed all that day.
3 hours.
All
day?
Yes.
And I read your papers, and you said that after you fell, however, you felt a little woozy. And you went to the bathroom, and you took a Vicodin.
Yes, right.
Where'd you get the Vicodin from?
I carry Vicodins with me all the time.
For what?
Because I had back surgery back in '92.
So
and
you
when I have back
92 was 12 years ago.
I have back problems, and ever since I had the back surgery, I've been on pain medication.
So you take pain medication for your back?
Not frequently now, but I just carry it with me in case.
Carry it with you just in case you
yes,
fall?
If I get, yes.
And
not
you sat
in
and
case
played,
I fall.
Miss
no.
Elliott, and you sat and played all day that day, is
Waiting
that right?
for him to come in.
I don't care what, listen.
Yes,
Miss Elliott,
okay.
listen to me very carefully, my dear.
All right.
This is not windfall day. What Mr. Worsham said to you when you approached him, because you waited for him all day, instead of going to a hospital if you were injured because you couldn't move your shoulder, because your shoulder was all out and your back is out and you're taking Vicodin, you go to a hospital, you go to a doctor. You don't continue to play Texas Hold'em. Elliott, Mr. Leung, didn't purposely pull a chair out from under you. He wasn't playing a Halloween prank. You weren't injured. You only get paid if you're injured, even if he was negligent. And people who are injured don't stick around for a whole day and play Texas Hold'em, Miss Elliott. Do we understand each other?
I understand you.
Very good. Now, you offered her $500?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you offer her $500?
Well, she kept asking me what I was going to do for her, and I told her nothing, and she came back in and asked me again, and I finally said, okay, I'll give you $500. And she said, is that all I get? And I said, yes, that's all I'll give you. And she left again, went back and played cards.
What time was this? Do you recall?
This was another day. This was about 3 days later. In fact, I believe it was on a Monday or Tuesday.
You mean she came back, her injuries resolved, and she came back 3 days later?
Yes.
Is that right?
I came back to see him, not to play cards.
But you did play cards.
I wait while I was waiting for him. Yes.
Miss Elliott, courts have important business to take care of. It is not the role of courts to allow people to abuse them with nonsense lawsuits. Your lawsuit is nonsense. Okay. You were not injured. If you were injured,
yes,
you would. No. If you were injured, a person of your age knows that if you fall on the floor and if you're injured, you don't sit around all day playing cards. You take care of your injuries. That's what you do. You chose not to do that. And you chose to come back a couple of days later to see him again, to ask him how much money he was going to give you. And while you were waiting, you weren't injured so much that you couldn't sit down and play a few games of Texas Hold'em or wherever else you were going to play. So, Miss Elliott, this is not a windfall day against Mr. Worsham. He offered you $500. You should have taken it. You didn't. He's not offering it anymore.
I didn't
Your
come back
lawsuit's
to him.
dismissed. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Parties are excused and they step out. Almost. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mr. Strong, how long did you and Miss Ramos live together?
For approximately almost 2 months.
And how long did you date prior to living together?
I'd say about 9 months.
It is your claim that after an argument, that Miss Ramos got into your car, drove it erratically, drove into a fence, and wrecked your car.
Correct.
You want her to pay for the damage. Ms. Ramos says that she got into your car because she was escaping an assault by you. And yes, she did go into a fence, but it was because she was fleeing the apartment because you were assaulting her. When did this happen?
August 19th, 2004.
Tell me about it, Mr. Strong.
Your Honor, that day I came home from work. We had gotten into a verbal argument.
About what?
About money.
What about money?
Basically, we didn't have no money.
So what were you
live.
arguing with each other about? Why don't you go get a job?
I had a job, Your
And
Honor.
she?
She was not working at the time.
So were you arguing with her because she didn't have a job?
She was arguing with me because I was not making enough money, not supporting us enough. Then we kept arguing. I told her I was going to leave the apartment. Went to go get my clothes from my bedroom.
You mean you were leaving her?
No, I was leaving the apartment for the night.
Oh, just for the evening?
Just for the evening.
Okay.
So everything calmed down. Went to go grab my clothes. As soon as I did that, she darted out the door, jumped in the car, and wrecked it, Your Honor.
Okay, can I see pictures of the car, please?
Yes, ma'am. Here's all the evidence right here. Just pictures. There's also
Now,
pictures
after
in there of her damage, Your Honor.
Now, after she darted out of the apartment into the car, what did you do?
I seen her getting into the car from our bedroom. I ran downstairs. By that time, she was already in the car, leaving the apartment recklessly, driving. I ran after her to tell her to stop. As soon as I started to run, she wrecked. I ran over there to see if she was all right. About that time, she ran out the passenger door, ran into the other side of the apartment complex. About that time, I got arrested.
Got arrested for what?
I got arrested, they said, for domestic violence.
All right, Ms. Ramos, let me hear your version of the events. August 19th, 2004, you were at the apartment at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I actually arrived at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because the evening before I had to go to an appointment. Well, I spent the night at my mom's house, and that night...
What kind of an appointment?
I actually had to go... I had to go apply for general assistance because we weren't bringing in enough money, and he wasn't allowing me to work. I had to
What do you
sneak.
mean, just a second, what do you mean he wasn't allowing you to work?
He wasn't allowing me to work.
I don't understand. Put your hand down. I don't understand that.
He wouldn't allow me to go look for a job throughout the day. I would sneak to go look for a job. And
when was the last time you were employed?
Last time when I was employed, I was 16 years old. And that was at
How
Burger
old are you
King.
now?
I'm 18 now. And I am employed now.
Mr. Strong?
That is incorrect, Your Honor.
Okay.
I encouraged her numerous times to get a job.
Well, tell me about it, Mr. Strong.
I even, to the point where I told her I would leave the, I would leave the car keys and everything, even to the point where I told her my mother would take her to go look for a job, Your Honor, while I'm at work.
What was the argument about on the 19th of August, Ms. Ramos?
By that point, I was just so fed up with barely making ends meet that we had to, penny pinch. We had hardly no food in the fridge, so I said, you know what, I'm going to apply for general assistance. Well, I didn't tell him that. I told my mom that. I went to spend the night at my mom's house that evening, and I didn't ask him or anything. I just packed my stuff up. By the time he got home from work, he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to my mom's house to spend the night. I have an appointment in the morning. Well, that evening when I was at my mom's house, he called me numerous times. His mom called me numerous times saying that Tony is here. I'm sorry, Robert. They call him Tony. Tony is here at the house. He, I don't know what's going on. He's pacing back and forth. I have no idea what's going on. I told her, well, I'm here at my mom's house. I had to leave for the evening because I have an appointment in the morning. Well, the following evening, I went back home. The house was a mess. He wasn't home from work yet. The house was a mess. And finally, he walked in about 5:30, 5:15, and I was in the kitchen trying to clean stuff up. And he said, hi, babe. I didn't say anything to him. And he said, well, what's wrong? Why are you mad? I said, look at the house. Ask me why I'm mad. Look at what you did to the house. He said, well, oh, well. He said, you left me like a dog the night before, so I messed up the house. I said, that's no excuse to mess up the house. So he turned around and I said, you know what? I don't need this. I do not need you or this in my life. I picked up my house keys off the counter, which the house keys did have the extra set of car keys, my cell phone, and I started to walk out of the kitchen. He picked up a knife off of the table, started to tell me that he was going to kill me. He said, if you go and you leave me, I'll kill you. And he said, no, as a matter of fact, I'll kill myself. Started to push the knife into his neck and onto his wrist. At that point, I started screaming, and I was trying to pull it up so it wouldn't puncture him. Finally, he dropped it, and he went and he grabbed me by my neck and started pushing me up against the kitchen sink, in the corner of the kitchen sink and the stove. Started choking me. I finally pushed him off. When I pushed him off, he reached in to get a kiss. And I went like that. I said, you passed up that opportunity. And I started walking out of the kitchen. When I started walking out of the kitchen, he ran up to the front door. I got the front door open about this much. The neighbors seen me. I opened up the front door, and he went and grabbed me by my throat and pushed me up against the wall, slammed the front door. He said, you F&B, you're not going nowhere. He grabbed the cell phone out of my hand and threw it up against the wall. That's in the police report, too. The neighbors were hearing everything that was going on downstairs.
What the neighbors were hearing. Who called the police?
The neighbors.
You didn't call the police?
I did not call the police until I finally ran out of the house, but that was minutes later.
Where did you call the police from?
At the neighbor's house, but that was after I wrecked the car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You must think that the whole world is stupid, including me.
Your Honor, that's...
Yeah, listen to me, sir. That never happened.
That did happen.
Never happened.
That did happen.
Mr. Strong, never happened in this country, sir.
And later today...
You mean you didn't say to her, if you do this for me, I'll pay you back as soon as I get the money? You didn't say that to her.
No, ma'am.
Better off without her, my dear.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Robert Tony Strong says ex-fiancée Camille Ramos wrecked his Buick Regal. Camille says she was fleeing from Robert after he threatened to kill her.
Can I see the police report, please?
Yes, ma'am. There are statements from witnesses that seen him hitting me. Sorry. It's a chunky one.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I never once hit her. Never.
He pleaded to domestic violence.
Not once did I hit her.
Speak.
The only reason I did plead to domestic violence, Your Honor, is because so I can get out of jail. I was facing 6 years in the penitentiary.
Listen to me, Mr. Strong. I didn't even ask you the question. You were arrested for domestic violence?
I was charged with domestic. I was charged with corporal injury to a spouse or companion, destruction of telephone or telegraphic, and terrorist threat.
How long had you been living in that apartment complex, sir?
For about, I'd say, a month and 3 weeks, so almost 2 months.
Do you know a woman by the name of Melinda?
I do not know, sir. Ma'am.
She's a neighbor of yours. Police interviewed her.
Okay.
This neighbor says she saw you push the defendant into a corner and you had your hands around her throat.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay.
I never once pushed her or grabbed her.
Your Honor, I have pictures of my injuries.
The police observed that the apartment was in a total state of disarray, sir. There was overturned furniture in the living room. There were broken parts of a cell phone in the closet in the bedroom. The bathroom door was taken off the hinges. Closet rod, which one uses for hanging clothes in the closet, was on the floor in the bedroom. How'd that happen?
That happened when I went to go grab my clothes, Your Honor. I was in my closet, and I went to go like this, bear hug all my clothes. When I did that, she pushed me into the closet.
You left that out.
I fell down, and that's how that curtain thing broke.
You left out the fact that she pushed you in the closet, Mr. Strong. How did the furniture get overturned in the living room?
I don't know about that one, Your Honor. When I came home...
How did the cell phone
get
broken and in a lot of pieces, sir? How did that happen?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know?
No.
You do know that you pled guilty to domestic violence?
Yes, I do know that.
Now, when you pled guilty to domestic violence, the judge asked you to make a statement as to exactly what you were pleading guilty to. What did you tell the judge you did on the 19th of August?
I just told the judge basically I defended myself. She came after me with a knife. I pushed her away, and after that, I went to go get my clothes out of my closet. She pushed me into the closet. She left, and that's when she jumped in the car, wrecked it, and
Mr.
I ran after her.
Mr. Strong, there are all different kinds of judges in this country, some brighter than others. None of them would have accepted the plea that you just outlined to me as a plea. I'm speaking! As a plea of guilty to domestic violence. Because what you said to me was that you pled guilty, although she was guilty of domestic violence. You must think that the whole world is stupid, including me.
Your Honor, that's...
Yeah, listen to me, sir. That never happened.
That did happen.
Never happened.
That did happen.
Mr. Strong, never happened in this country, sir.
Okay.
Never.
Excuse me, Your Honor, that is what he told the judge.
I want to tell you something. You're his mother?
Yes.
Listen to me.
I was in the court when he told the judge, and he's leaving out the fact that he had a cut from her cutting him with the knife.
Listen to me very, very carefully. I'm speaking. My mouth is moving. No jurist in this country would accept a plea as outlined by your son, because what he told me was she came at him with a knife. In response to that, he went to the closet to get his clothes and left. That's what you told me.
Correct.
Right? The police support her version of the events because they say that the apartment was a disaster, which is what she says in her statement. Not that You were just waiting for her to come home, and you had a discussion about money that escalated into an argument. You never put your hands on her. In addition to that, your statement and your plea to domestic violence totally fall without what I consider any kind of reason or common sense, which leads me to believe that she was escaping from your assault. She was escaping from your assaultive behavior. Put your hand down! And as such, sir, if she was escaping and if she totaled your car because she was trying to get away from you, deal with it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She was planning to leave me and didn't know how to tell me, so that's how she did it.
I wasn't planning on leaving him. I was planning on bettering myself.
She had another boyfriend on the side.
When a lot of people weren't there for me, he was, but in the end, his true colors showed.
I am glad it's over, and now I can get on with my life.
For all those girls out there who you think that you need help from anyone, you don't need help from no one. You do it on your own, just like I did it, and you'll make it. You'll make it with everything you got.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Julian versus Hassel, step forward, please.
20-year-old security officer Jennifer Julian and her husband John are suing their former friend, 19-year-old sales clerk Jamie Hassel, for an unpaid loan to retain a lawyer. Jamie says Jennifer gave her the money so she could get custody of her son.
Mr. and Mrs. Julian, you claim a loan to the defendant, who used to be a very dear friend of yours. The defendant said this was money that she received from you, it was money that was a gift that she needed. She needed it for a lawyer, and there was never any discussion of repayment. How long have you and Mrs. Hassel been friends?
We've been friends for about 11 years.
And when you gave her money, where did the transfer of the money take place?
Actually, we went and got it from the bank. And
who's we?
Miss Hassel and I walked 22 blocks in downtown Austin to find a bank, because we went to like 3 or 4 different banks before we finally found one that would accept my credit card to get a cash advance.
So you took out a cash advance. Now tell me why.
Well, she needed the money for a lawyer, and she couldn't get the money for a couple of weeks from her trust fund.
What did you need the money for a lawyer for?
To get full custody of my son, to have his father sign over his rights.
How did you ask Miss Julian, or Mr. and Mrs. Julian, to help you?
Well, John and I never spoke of it, actually. Jennifer had taken me to the lawyer, because I had an appointment with him that morning, and after the lawyer told me that he needed a $3,000 retainer, we sat in the room, and my mother and I were discussing it, how we were going to come up with the money, and Jennifer offered.
What did she say?
She said, well, I can go get it out of the bank. You know, me and her have been friends forever. We've supported each other through anything, and she was there. She's Aunt Jenny to Damien.
I don't care if she's Aunt Jenny, I don't care if she's Grandma Jenny. She said to you, I can go get the money out of the bank from a cash advance.
Yes,
and
sir.
what did you say?
I said, okay, and I went with
Just
it.
okay?
Yeah.
You didn't say to her, okay, if you do this, I'll pay you back?
Well, I mean, I said thank you. I wasn't rude
That's not what I asked you. You mean you didn't say to her, if you do this for me, I'll pay you back as soon as I get the money? You didn't say that to her?
No, ma'am.
You just thought it was very nice of her to give you $3,000?
I mean, that's what we did for each other. We helped each other out through anything.
No, $3,000 is not $50. $3,000 is a big chunk of change, especially when she said to you, I don't have the money. I can take a cash advance out on my credit card. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do you support yourself?
I have a part-time job right now.
Who supports you totally?
I live with my grandmother.
Where does your mother live?
With me.
Okay, let me hear your version of it, Miss Julian.
Well, she needed the money, and she couldn't get the money from her trust fund for, I think, 2 weeks. And
Is that what she told you?
That's what she told me.
Okay, go ahead.
So I called my husband, and he said, well, the only way that we'll agree to do this is if she agrees to pay any finance fees, any transaction fees, any fees that come up.
And she said?
She said, yes, absolutely, I'll pay anything.
What happened 2 weeks later?
She just told different stories every time I talked to her.
So why do you think that you should not pay back Mr. and Mrs. Julian?
Because to me, it was never a loan. I mean, if she would have asked me, hey, I need this back, sure. I mean, we could have made some agreement. But she knew at the time I didn't have a job, I was taking care of my baby, and we were there for each other, always. That's how our relationship went.
Better off without her, my dear. Not much of a friend. Anything you want to say, Mr. Julian?
Just that my wife had called and asked me if it would be okay to take the $3,000 out of the cash advance.
When she called you, did she tell you where she was?
Yes, I knew where they were before. Because the night before, they told me that this lawyer was going to take it and she could pay him later. I said, that's not going to happen. Lawyers don't work that way. So I was expecting it.
Miss Hassel, if you don't do the wrong thing, you don't have to cry. You got to do the right thing. If you borrow something and somebody treats you well and somebody's willing to be supportive, you're supposed to do the right thing. You're supposed to say to Mr. and Mrs. Julian, listen, I can't pay you back all at once. I'll pay you $100 a month, $25 a week. That's all I can afford, but I'm going to do it because I live with my mother and my grandmother. I'm working part-time. I'll work a little bit more part-time so that I can afford to give you $25 a week. $50. $50, however long it takes. You don't try to shirk your responsibility and do the wrong thing with a friend. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Mrs. Yancey, parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Ms. Bertolo, according to what I've read, the defendant commissioned you to paint a mural on her bedroom ceiling. Yes. You were supposed to get $2,000 for the project. The defendant was dissatisfied with the job. She didn't pay you the rest and didn't complete the job. You want to be paid. Ms. Yancey said that the job was really not just for one room, but it was a two-project deal for the bedroom and your bathroom, that she gave you the $500. She was dissatisfied with the job. She told you to keep the $500 and not to bother to come back to finish the project.
Correct.
And she erased the mural.
Yes.
How did you find her?
Actually, she happens to be a friend of mine. Well, she's a client also. And she's in the business. We're in the service business. We're in the beauty business. She's a manicurist. I'm an esthetician. So she's aware of customer service.
Listen to me. I asked you how you knew her.
Oh, well, in the business. We're in the business.
You're an esthetician. You do
Yes.
facials.
Yes, I do.
You do manicures.
I'm a manicurist, yes.
How did you find out that she was a painter?
I stopped by at the salon where she works at to get a body massage, and there's a mural there. So I'm talking to the girls, and I'm talking to her, and I say, I'd like to have a mural painted in my house. Oh, and then she goes, Laurel is excellent, one of the girls from the salon said. I said, oh, fabulous. You know, I know Laurel. I would love to give her the business.
Was the mural that you saw in the salon a mural that was painted by the plaintiff?
It was the mural that I would like to have in the bathroom.
Now listen to me. Was the mural that you saw in the salon a mural that was painted by the plaintiff?
No.
Did you ever see any of her work?
No.
So you hired her without seeing any samples of her work?
By referral only, yes.
Just answer my question. You hired her without seeing whether or not she could paint?
Correctly, yes.
Did you tell her what you wanted?
Oh, absolutely. I even showed her a picture.
Let me see the picture that you showed her.
This is the sky, this is the wrought iron, and this is the puffy clouds I wanted.
Did she show you this picture?
She did. We discussed the wrought iron. I thought in that room it wouldn't be a good idea to put wrought iron. I discussed putting like a scroll or some kind of border around the room because it's a concave ceiling. So we discussed that. She said, okay, fine, if you don't want to do that, you know.
Now, this was the work evidently for the bedroom. What about the work she says she wanted to do for the bathroom?
She discussed the bathroom, but that wasn't a set anything. She didn't like a mural actually somebody else did in the bathroom and wanted me to change it.
So you already had a mural in the bathroom?
That she didn't like.
It was unfinished.
Why was it unfinished?
Because the lady never came back to finish it.
Okay. When did you start
This is an artist thing.
When did you start to work?
I sat up the scaffolding ladder on the 15th, August 15th, and I put my projector out.
The arrangement was $2,000? Yes. $2,000 to do just the bedroom?
Just the bedroom, yes.
Did you take pictures of your finished work? Yes. Can I see the pictures, please?
Also, I have receipts of paint, if you want.
Okay.
Excuse me? I also have a video I'd like to show you.
Just wait a second. Okay. set up your scaffolding on the 15th, and did you start to paint on the 15th?
No, I started painting on the 16th.
And you painted on the 16th and 17th?
And 17th. The 17th, I actually spoke to her in the morning. She was home, and she told me how much she loved it. It was great. She laid on the floor, and she loved it, and she couldn't wait until it was done, and she was extremely excited.
What happened by the 17th?
I left on the 17th that night, and she wasn't home. She was still at work, and I called her and left her a message, basically if she wanted anything else, just to further the mural. That night she said, oh, I don't know, I still think I want the wrought iron. And so I said, okay, you know, take a couple days, think about it. I'll return on the 22nd, and we'll discuss what you want, and then I'll continue painting. On the 22nd, I called her, and she said, I'm unhappy with your work, I'm not paying you, but was also telling me, I respect you, and I'm going to refer people to you, and la la la.
So far, is that the timeline? She came on the 15th, set up the scaffolding. She worked on the 16th and 17th.
Correct.
And then she called you on the 22nd.
That's correct.
And what did you tell her on the 22nd?
I told her that she could keep the $500. I didn't feel like she did an appropriate job for $2,000, and I didn't want her to come back and do anything else in my house, because obviously the quality of her work wasn't a $2,000 work. And when she says, well, I'll come and fix it for you, how can you fix something that you don't know how to do?
Okay.
I really did not want to, I want to spare her feelings a little bit. So obviously by telling her, no, that's it, I'm done with you, she should have read me to say, all right.
Could you show me the video?
Oh, absolutely. I want to be able to show you the whole picture of the mural. This is what Laurel calls himself a muralist here. This looks like a sponge paint. There's absolutely no depth to that. The closer you get to look at that, if you can see it, all it looks is like an overcast day, if that. It's like a wannabe sky. The wrought iron that's supposed to be, or the scrolls there, is unfinished. The brown doesn't contour properly. That she highlighted. The white ran off the brown. Some parts are thicker than others. In the middle there, I asked for some dahlias, some little pretty dahlias to come through. Those are not dahlias. That's what you call wannabe daisies. This side is supposed to be where I have these fairies kind of peekabooing through the clouds. But instead, what do I get? Look at that. It looks like a little bee that's falling off the sky. I don't take that. That's unacceptable also. This spider web junk that she drew here, I want to make sure that that gets erased. These unfinished scrolls, same. Look at that. So I have invited Laurel to come in and witness me erasing this mural, and that is to prove to her that it's not that I don't want to pay her the money, it's to show her that her work is unprofessional.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'd rather have that customer take off than for her to go bat-mouth me around saying what a lousy facialist I am. I'd rather...
She's going to do that anyway.
And later today...
What did you write about him in your diary?
I don't know if I can say it.
I've heard everything.
Okay, that his sex wasn't the greatest.
Well, that would tick him off.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Artist Laurel Bertoldo says her former friend, Joanna Yancey, owes for the unpaid balance on a custom mural. Joanna says the mural is hideous.
Miss Yancey, how long have you been doing facials?
Approximate 14 years.
You think that you're a good esthetician?
Yes.
Let's say you gave somebody a facial and you charged them $100 because it was a deep pore cleaning facial and a whole bunch of other stuff. And they put your fee on their credit card, and then they called the credit card company and put a stop payment on the fee because they said, you know what? I didn't really like this facial. I've had facials that were better. I've gone to people who really gave me a good massage during the facial, you know, who gave me a wonderful mask. I really didn't like her. She didn't shut her mouth for the whole hour that I was sitting there. There were no candles burning. It was not a pleasant experience, so I'm not going to pay her. Not that you didn't get a facial, but she had gotten a nicer facial elsewhere. Do you think that that's reasonable?
For me?
Yes. For you.
Okay, absolutely. You know what? I'd rather have that customer take off. Okay, I wasted maybe an hour of my time than for her to go mouth me around saying what a lousy facialist I am. I'd rather...
She's going to do that anyway. She's going to do that anyway, Miss Yancey, and you know exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you go to a service provider and you go and get your hair cut and blown dry, and you really don't love the cut, you've had better cuts, and you've had better blow dries, what you do is you don't go back to the same person. You pay for the service. And hopefully when you go to an esthetician or where you go to somebody to get your hair cut, you've had references, you've seen the work that they do, you've spoken to friends, you've said, who did your hair? That looks great. Your skin looks terrific. Who does your facials? So you've gotten not only referrals, but you've seen the work that they do. You decided to pick this lady to do a mural. You had never seen any of her work. You didn't ask to see a portfolio. She said, I paint a mural. Certainly, Miss Yancey, I could not have done what she did. Officer Petrie Hawkinsburg maybe painted a bathroom or a kitchen in his lifetime, and he's a very talented guy. But I doubt whether he could have done what she did on the ceiling. Is that a fair statement?
Very fair.
So that what she did was unique. Now, it may not have been to your liking. That's your problem. You got to pay her. You want to erase it? You want to spray paint it? You want to turn it into Disney World? That's your prerogative. But you have to pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Art is just a matter of opinion, and I personally will not pay $2,000 for that.
It is, like she said, a matter of opinion. I think it's beautiful.
She thought she was good.
I did offer to go back and make any changes to make her happy.
There's no depth to the mural.
I think she just wanted to get off cheap.
There's supposed to be depth.
I'm just really not sure what her deal is.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cower versus Cubitt. Step forward, please.
19-year-old student Stephen Cower is suing his ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old sales clerk Kristen Cubitt, for an unpaid loan to buy a motorcycle. Kristen says the money was a gift until Stephen read disparaging comments about him in her diary.
Mr. Cower, how long did you date Miss Cubitt before you loaned her this money for a motorcycle?
Your Honor, it was about 3.5 years on and off.
So you knew her well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about this alleged loan for a motorcycle, which Miss Cubitt says is a gift.
Your Honor, I loaned her the money because right before I went to training for my 2 weeks in the National Guard, Your Honor.
Give me the month, day, and year, and show me the check.
August 11th, Your Honor.
Of 2004?
Yes, Your Honor.
And tell me how the loan came about.
I was in training down at the National Guard. We had been on and off in our relationship. And she came to me asking that she was going to purchase a bike, a motorcycle, Your Honor. And she asked me, she said she could only get $6,000 from her loaning institute, and she couldn't get the rest of the money, and she needed to pay the full amount in for the bike by the end of the month, Your Honor.
That's not true, Your Honor.
What does that mean? She needed to pay the whole amount?
Your Honor, she told me that the motorcycle place that she was getting the bike from said that she had to have the bike fully paid off by the end of the month. If not, she would lose all the money she had put into it. So when she came to me telling me how much it was, I said, well, I have about $2,800 in my bank account. I will give you what I can because I'm going to college and I don't know what I can give you, though. And so when the time came around and we went to the bank, I took the $2,800 out, and we had an agreement that she would pay me back half of it before my first college payment.
How was she supposed to pay you back the half? From what?
From working. She was working at Port Stop, Your Honor.
According to you, she was supposed to pay you back $1,400 before you went away to school, which was when?
Which is about a week and a half later, Your Honor.
How much did she make at this job that she was going to get $1,400 in a week and a half?
I don't know, Your Honor, but she said she was going to be able to pay me back that half amount, and I said, if you cannot, I will try to figure something out. I was being very sincere, Your Honor, and trying to help her out the best I could.
Mr. Cower, if you tell me something that doesn't make sense, I'm going to have a tendency to disbelieve everything that you tell me. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You gave her this money because you loved her. You don't love her anymore?
She was my first love, Your Honor. It's still tough to get
over it. Put a period, move on.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephen Cower says ex-girlfriend Kristen Cubitt owes for a loan for a motorcycle. Kristen says Stephen read her diary.
Now, you've known this girl, according to you, a year and a half. She had a job where she made how much a week?
$150 a week.
Doing what?
a cashier at a gas station.
She made $150 a week. And she says, I don't have all the money that I need for this motorcycle, and I have to pay it all off. You gave her $2,800, and according to you, you had an agreement where she was going to pay you $1,400 back in a week. So my question is, where did you logically think, Mr. Cower, she was going to get that $1,400 from?
Your Honor, I probably wasn't thinking right because of my emotions of our relationship.
Did he give you $2,800?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
When?
On August 11th.
What'd you do with it?
He went to his bank and he stated, as long as I have $1,400 in my bank account, I will loan you what I can. He said, I love you. You've done a lot for me. I will give it to you. I said, okay. We went to his bank. He got an official bank check from his bank to Loomis Motorcycle, and he handed them the check.
I see that.
And then he went, like, probably, I think it was on the 14th, he came into my house while I was showering and read my diary. The next day at work, he gave me my diary back and said that he was breaking up with me because he did not like what he read, and then said that I was going to pay him back or he was going to take me to court. The next day, there's a notice in the mail saying that I'm being sued for $2,800, which I could have swore was a gift. If I had known that I was going to have to pay him back, I would have just tagged it onto my motorcycle loan from my loan company in the first place.
Now, Miss Cubitt, just because I'm a woman and curious, what did you write about him in your diary that got him so angry?
Bad stuff.
Well, I'd like you to tell me, what did you write about him in your diary that got him so angry?
I just basically said that I didn't want to be with him, but every time we said we weren't going to get back together, we did, and that I don't know if I can say it.
I've heard everything.
Okay. That his sex wasn't the greatest.
Well, that would tick him off. Right?
I imagine it would.
Now, what was the date of that entry that he found offensive? What
a long
month?
time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Months before.
Probably 2-3 months is when I started the diary.
Is that the diary that you
Yes.
have? Good. Open it up to that page and just tell me when you entered the part of him being a lousy lover.
I didn't put a date in it.
You didn't put a date in it?
No, I didn't date it because it was one of those diaries of you write everything about every boyfriend you've ever had. You put it in there. That's basically a diary about the guys that I have been with, liked, went out with. They're all in here.
And did you rate them at all?
Everybody's got a little something about how good and bad it was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I read your answer very clearly, and your answer said, and I'm going to read it to you in case you forgot, I approached him about the loan to purchase a bike in August of 2004. That's what you said. But when you approached him, you said, I need
money is exactly what I said.
Loan, according to what you said here. When I approached him about the loan, right? And how much is your bank loan?
$6,000.
Plus 28.
No, I only took the loan
yes,
for 6.
Plus 28, because that's what he gave you for the motorcycle. Grow up. Listen, never read a woman's diary. It's not a good idea. You ever hear the expression, curiosity killed the cat?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your case, it killed the romance. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
She owes you $2,800. She considered it a loan. You considered it a loan. You gave her this money because you loved her, I assume.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or you thought you did. You don't love her anymore?
She was my first love, Your Honor. It's still tough to
get over it. Listen to me. Get over it. How old are you?
19, Your Honor.
Put a period, move on. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,800. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Fine, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Mr. Siska, the defendant is your former girlfriend.
Correct.
And you also have a child together.
Correct.
Boy or a girl?
Boy.
How old?
Just turned a year, September 5th.
Am I correct that you have custody of this child?
That's correct.
And that the defendant was recently awarded visitation of a supervised nature with the child. Is that right?
Actually, the supervised visitation was recently put into effect. I had my son every other day as of June 1st, 2004.
But now you have supervised visitation. And you exercise that visitation?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to tell me what you're suing the defendant for, and then I'm going to try to figure out why you're suing her at all.
Okay. In May, I moved...
May of what year?
I'm sorry. 2003.
Well, okay, so well over a year ago.
Yes. I moved out of my apartment and was staying with Julie. It lasted maybe about a week and a half. We had an argument, and I left her apartment. About 3 days later, she called me up and told me that how she had filed a police report on me. And what actually took place that night was I allowed my dog to jump up on the bed with me to go to sleep. She got angry.
What kind of dog did you have?
Siberian Husky.
A very large dog?
Yes.
Why?
She's my baby. Julie got very upset at it, jumped up and grabbed a hold of my dog, and I reached up and grabbed a hold of her arm. She went down and filed a police report the next day. About 2 months later, I get a letter in the mail asking me to be arraigned in court.
Okay, so that's the false charge that you're filing.
Correct.
Against her. Now, when was your son born?
September 5th of 2003.
Were you with her when your son was born?
No. I wasn't even called to the hospital.
Had you lived together between May of 2003 and September 2003?
No.
Did you see her?
Yes.
Did you spend the night together?
On a few occasions, yes.
I'm going to get her version of it, and then I'm going to rule on that part of your lawsuit, okay?
Okay.
You want to tell me what happened when the dog was called up on the bed to share the bed with you?
Okay, a Siberian Husky sheds horribly. I hated his dog, I still do. I reached for her collar to pull her off of the bed. I have a copy of the police report. He did not grab my arm. He grabbed my hair and he twisted me around and started choking me. Threw me to the ground, at which point I tried to get away. I was yelling for my mom, who was sleeping out in the living room. Finally, I was able to get away from him. He proceeded to follow me into the living room, threatened my mom, threatened to have his mom fight my mom.
Okay.
And then, at which point, we finally convinced him that we were either going to call the cops or get out. You know, my mom said we should go to the police right away.
Okay, so that's your version of what happened. It wasn't just taking you by the arm. It was he was angry because you were pulling his Siberian Husky off the bed.
Yes.
Okay. Now, from May of 2003, after he left, until September of 2003, when your son was born, you socialized together?
Not frequently.
I didn't ask you frequently.
No, yes, we did.
You did? Okay. So whatever it was, you sort of made up.
Yes.
That's why you have no lawsuit, sir. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
There's such a thing in the law that we call condonation, which means even if she did file a police report because of, you say you grabbed her by the arm, she says it was a little more than that. After that happened, if you sleep together, which you say you did, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You sort of condoned that conduct. She condoned your grabbing her by the arm, pulling her hair, twisting. She condoned it by sleeping with you. You got that? And if your version is correct, you condoned her filing this police report. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it was an expensive social event for you. I don't know how else to put that for daytime.
That sounded good to me.
Let's get to the next order of business.
Okay.
Go.
Well, about a month and a half ago, we went to the state fair in Michigan, and we got into another argument. It had to do with our son. She got upset at our son. This is why I went in for supervised. We were out in the parking lot, and I reached to grab for my son. She was holding him. She reached up and grabbed my arm.
You said you reached to grab your son. Why did you do that?
Because we were trying to get him in the car and all that and do the, you know, I says, here, let me see him, like that, and just went, you know, reached up to grab him. She grabbed a hold of my arm and bit it.
Did you do that?
No, Your Honor.
What did you do?
No, I'm sorry. I did bite his arm.
You see?
I'm
You
sorry.
see?
Yes, I should have said that. Okay.
Tell me why you bit his arm.
Okay, yes, I had gotten upset at my son.
Why?
He wasn't, you know, he's almost a year old. He was just, I was very tired. He was very tired. He was crying, and it just got to the point, I was like, all right, I put him in a stroller. Scott had him. I was walking ahead of him, trying to cool down. I have a temper. Towards the front of the park, when we were getting near the cars, I picked him up more or less to apologize to him, let him know, hey, Mommy was sorry.
Well, what had you done to him that you were apologizing to him for?
Nothing. I'd gotten upset.
Well, when you got upset,
I hadn't done anything physically to my son.
Had you yelled at him?
No.
Well, then what were you, listen, what were you apologizing for? Were you speaking to him harshly because he wasn't behaving,
I
he was
probably
crying?
was.
So then you picked him up to tell him that you were sorry for screaming at him because he was probably still crying.
No, actually, at that point, he wasn't. He's very temperamental. He can cry at the drop of a hat. But anyways, Scott had no reason to grab Darian to put him into the car because it was my car. I had the keys.
So you were fighting over him?
More or less, yes. He grabbed me.
Yes, and so you bit his arm?
Yes.
So that's the assault that you are also suing her for, the assault because she bit your arm?
That's correct.
Listen, how long did you know her before you decided to make this baby together?
A few months.
That doesn't sound like good judgment, right?
No, you know,
Well, you got to start thinking with your noodles, sir.
I understand.
Right?
Yeah, I understand.
If you don't think with your noodle, lots of bad things happen. Sometimes you get a baby out of it that's a nice child, but you get a lot of aggravation if you think with other parts of your extremities. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, I understand.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She smoked marijuana during the pregnancy and drank.
Was the baby born addicted to drugs?
And later today,
I just found out I have Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Why didn't you take her to the doctor?
I was sick.
Where was the boyfriend?
He'd just come home for lunch.
Why didn't he take her to the doctor?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott Siska says the mother of his child, 21-year-old Julie Grabarkowitz, owes for biting him on the arm. Julie says Scott wouldn't let go of their son.
So, did you receive medical treatment?
No, I didn't. I do have some pictures.
I'll take a look at the pictures.
I'd also like to, if I could, submit some other evidence here as far as the police report showing that I went like 5 times to court on that. I took her to a jury trial because of what happened with that incident.
You're talking about in May of 2003?
Yes.
Listen to me, sir. I believe that you took the case to trial and that eventually the case was dismissed. Is that right?
Yes.
Fine. I've just explained to you, and I assume you understood, that if you are intimate, don't come to me to complain a year and a half later that she did something wrong because now you're not getting along anymore.
Okay.
I told you before, sir.
Okay.
You didn't think with your noodle once.
You're right.
A month and a half ago when you went to the state fair together. Didn't think with you. If you're going to be the responsible parent, you have to start thinking with your head.
No, you're right.
Fine. Okay. You can't bite him.
I understand.
Fighting, you have a bad temper, you have to go to anger management if you have a bad temper.
It's not that severe.
It's very severe, madam, if you are yelling at a year-old child that you don't have custody. Listen to me. He has custody of the child. He says, let's go to the state fair together as a family. A little bit of a mistake, but maybe, you know, under ordinary circumstances, if you're dealing with 2 rational people, that's a nice thing to do. You can't lose your temper because you're tired. You can't lose your temper. And if you do lose your temper, it suggests to me that either there is something clouding your judgment or you need some professional counseling. You have a baby that's a year old, and I assume that you want to be part of this child's life. This is your only child?
Yes.
The child is with his father?
Yes.
Who clearly still has a little bit of a soft spot for you because as of a month and a half ago, he was still extending an olive branch to go out and spend the day together, right?
Yes. I'm trying to...
Trying to work it through.
Well,
So
for
if
our
he's-
son's sake, you
So
know.
if he's trying to work it through, I suggest you get a little bit of help.
I don't want to work it through with him.
Not work it through with him. I'm not talking about working it through with him. I'm talking about working through your temper.
Yes, I understand.
And your
that.
other problems that you may have. Meanwhile, sir, how badly were you bitten?
Well, I mean, bad enough that, I mean, you could see the marks in my arm. I mean, it was like bruised and, you know, for a couple weeks.
Okay. And how much do you think she should compensate you for biting you on the arm?
Well, I think I put in there for like $600. It's all the aggravation that I deal with her on a daily basis.
This is
as
not
well.
going to stop the aggravation.
No, I understand.
This is not going to stop the only thing that's going to
understand.
stop the aggravation is if she gets some help.
Right, but she won't do that.
That's a big mistake. How old are you?
21.
You have a drug problem?
No.
Did you?
Yes, I used to.
What kind of drugs?
I used to do anything and everything.
When did you stop?
Over 3 years ago, anything and everything, and over almost a year ago for marijuana.
In the past 6 months, have you used any drugs?
No, I have not used anything, and I have proof to testify to that.
Was the issue of your drug use raised at the visitation hearing?
Yes, that is why I had a...
Are you working now, Julie?
Yes.
Full-time?
Yes.
Well, this indicates that as of June 4th, the hair follicle test indicated that there were no drugs in our system for a very long time.
They redid a drug test because Scott asked for me to go back for an assessment, at which point that was when they decided that I should attend AA-NA meetings.
Why? Was it positive?
No.
Okay.
Just because of my history.
Your Honor?
Okay. What?
Here's the assessment.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. The reason why the full assessment was done, because I was aware of the stuff that she was doing and later found out I actually spoke to the laboratory directly that took the hair sample, and they did tell me that...
You can't tell me what the laboratory told you. Was this
Okay.
the report that you got?
Yes.
Well, Julie, the report that I'm looking at...
Horrible.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a positive report for you. There are things that I'm looking at and that I find sort of bode well for your future. You were able to practice abstinence from drugs and alcohol all during your pregnancy, according to this. And you had a long history of substance abuse.
Yes.
And that you tried on several occasions to get yourself clean. You even went into hospital on 2 occasions.
Yes.
But at least you knew enough to know that while you were pregnant, if you took drugs, that was going to have an impact on your baby. What?
That's not true.
What?
She smoked marijuana during the pregnancy and drank, and I was aware of it. That's what caused some of these arguments and the problems that we had. And I threatened custody before the baby was even born because of these issues. You know, I've tried to help the girl as much as I can, you know, because she is still my son's mother.
Right, and you picked her.
And, you know, the thing is, she doesn't learn.
She's tried. You know, the truth of the matter is she's tried. For a young girl, for a baby, when she was 19 and 20, she's really tried. I'm not giving her any awards for using drugs, but I'm just telling you that this report seems to suggest that she's tried. May not have been totally successful, but she's tried. Was the baby born addicted to drugs?
No.
Was the baby born with fetal alcohol syndrome?
No.
Okay. Got to continue to work on it, Julie.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott Siska says the mother of his child, 21-year-old Julie Grabarkowitz, owes for biting him on the arm. Julie says Scott wouldn't let go of their son.
All right. Listen, you can't bite him. And it sounds to me as if you've got a very full plate, sir. You've got a baby to raise. Who helps you raise this baby?
My parents.
Okay, you living at home?
Yeah, I moved back.
Okay, so you brought their grandson and also your aggravation home with you. Because I'm sure that your parents at their stage in life didn't anticipate raising a year-old baby.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
No. And you work?
Yes.
So they really take care of him.
No, I work from home, so.
What kind of work do you do?
Internet.
What do you mean, internet?
Internet jewelry. I sell jewelry.
All right. Julie, you got to pay him $50 for biting him. No more biting. Okay. Right? You teach babies no more biting. No more.
I promise.
And do me a favor. Get it together.
I will.
You made a baby. You're supposed to try to be a good parent. So
I'm trying.
You're young enough. Do it. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm going to take her words to heart and just try to follow them as much as possible.
This was more of a lesson to, you know, to be taught here.
He's always tried to control me.
I don't feel I'm being controlling.
He gets upset and he throws his weight around.
Really, the controlling person is her mother.
Hopefully we can just tolerate each other and raise our son to the best of our capabilities. That's all I want.
I hope that things just, you know, we get along and, you know, raise our son, you know, civilly.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Perry versus Rashid. Step forward, please.
19-year-old waitress Colleen Perry is suing her sister, Jennifer Rashid, for wrecking her car. Jennifer says the vehicle had bald tires.
Miss Perry, the defendant is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing her because she borrowed your car and she totaled your car.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you want her to pay for really a new car for you. You didn't have collision insurance on the car. And your sister says it's not her fault that the car was totaled because you gave her a car that was defective, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you borrow the car, Miss Rashid?
On August 18th, because I had a doctor's appointment. Colleen was supposed to bring me to the doctor's appointment.
Did you live together?
No. She and her boyfriend lived together, and I spent the night with her so she could take me to the doctor in the morning because my other sister, who I count on to take me to these doctor's appointments, I just found out I have Hodgkin's lymphoma. She couldn't do it, so Colleen was my chance to go to the doctor. She was my only way.
So you slept at her house the night before in order to go to the doctor?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you take her to the doctor?
I was sick.
Where was the boyfriend?
He'd just come home for lunch.
So he was there?
Yes.
Why didn't he take her to the doctor?
Because he had to go back to work.
What kind of work?
I'm an auto mechanic. I only get a 30-minute lunch. I come home early to try and wake her up, but she wasn't feeling good.
Okay, so you took the car because your sister wasn't feeling okay.
She wasn't feeling good, so I said, I'm going to take the car. And Eric told me, he said, well, if you take the car, you need to be careful because the tires are slick and you'll run right off the road. And that's exactly what I did. It was raining. It started to get kind of flooded. The water was about this high on the road.
Okay, so he told you that the tires were bad?
Yes.
So he warned you?
He warned me, but I still had to go to the doctor.
So you took the car anyway?
I did.
Were you present when your boyfriend told her that the tires were bald on the car?
I was laying down on the couch.
So you knew that the tires were bad on the car?
Yeah, the two back tires were bad.
And you let her take the car anyway?
Yes, ma'am.
So why are you suing her? You gave her a defective car. Why are you suing her?
Because when she wrecked the car, we went to the hospital. And at the hospital, she said that she would pay me back. She said, I don't know how I'll ever repay you, but I'll pay you back somehow.
Well, right now she doesn't want to pay you back. Right now she says you gave her a defective car and it almost killed her. Right? Which you did. You gave her a defective car. Why in the world would she pay you for putting her in a position where she could have been killed?
But she knew the risks whenever she took
You knew the risks.
But she knew too.
She sure did. You placed her in harm's way. You should have said, you know, you can't take this car. This car is in very bad shape, and you can't take the car because if you take the car, you may get killed, and I don't want to be responsible. So, goodbye. Your case is dismissed.
You may step out.
494 in the calendar in the matter of Price versus Alvarez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. You folks have a seat.
All right, each one of you has allegations against the other, multiple ones, so I'm going to try to simplify this as best I can. Mr. Price, you rented an apartment to Miss Alvarez.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ultimately had her evicted, according to her, had her evicted. It is your claim that she owes you money.
Yes.
She owes you money for rent because she gave you a rent check that she ultimately stopped payment on.
Correct.
That she owes you for damage done to the apartment, which was additional damage that her security deposit did not cover.
Correct.
And attorney's fees that you spent to get a 30-day notice to quit the premises. Correct. Ms. Alvarez has a counterclaim. She says that you wrongfully evicted her, that she only stayed for a few days the beginning of November, which is why she didn't pay November's rent. And she's counterclaiming, in addition, for the return of her security deposit and for the illegal eviction. So, when did she move in?
Your Honor, Anna Alvarez moved in on 6/3/07.
Did she sign a lease?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of that lease?
I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
Copy of her lease. It was a one-year lease, Your Honor.
All right, so this lease was for Anna, Vanessa, and Alex Alvarez.
Yes.
Who is that? That's your husband?
No, my daughter Vanessa and my daughter Alex.
Okay, Anna, Vanessa, and Alex Alvarez.
That's all.
Just the three of you?
Yes.
$1,400 a month rent and a $1,000 security deposit. The term of the lease was 1 year. Fine. When did you serve Miss Alvarez with a notice to quit the premises?
I served Mrs. Alvarez. That would be 9/25/07.
That was just a few months into the lease.
4 months into the lease, I was receiving complaints from both neighbors on each side.
That's hearsay, sir. Did you go to housing court to have her evicted?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
What is the procedure in this jurisdiction? You serve her a 30-day notice to leave the premises.
It wasn't a 30-day, it was a 3-day notice, Your Honor.
3-day?
3-day.
When?
The date that Max said, I can't remember right now.
When did you serve her with a 3-day?
On the 25th.
Of what?
of September, my lawyer served her a performer quit notice, is what it was. She had a choice.
Can I see that?
Yes, Your Honor, you may.
I'd like to see it.
That was a performer quit notice.
For being wrongfully accused, Your Honor.
So you understood, Miss Alvarez, that if you didn't leave the premises, he was going to start eviction proceedings against you.
Yes.
You understood that?
I did understand.
Fine. So that you didn't have her evicted, but you notified her September 25th that if she didn't leave within 3 days, you would, in all probability, initiate eviction proceedings against her, which you never did.
Correct, because she decided to perform.
Just a second, but you never did.
Never did, Your Honor.
Okay, when you received this, Miss Alvarez, what did you do?
I panicked and I went to the police department and showed the police department and told the police department they're wrongfully accusing my 2 daughters.
Just a second. What did you do? You have the following options. You can either choose to leave, or you can say, bring on eviction proceedings, we'll go to court, and we'll appear before the judge. You present your case, I'll present my case, and then the judge will determine whether or not I'm to be evicted. You understood that, Miss Alvarez?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay. At some point, you chose to leave. At some point, you chose to leave rather than having him start formal eviction proceedings.
I didn't leave till November 3, 2008. I stood there and paid my rent month to month and did all that.
But you chose to leave rather than to have eviction proceedings start. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, that's not correct.
Well, it was correct, Miss Alvarez, because you have the two choices. Either you say, listen, you don't have a case against me. We didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
And therefore, if you want to evict me, go to court.
Okay, yes.
And have me evicted.
That's correct, Your Honor, yes.
This just says to you, if you don't leave on your own, I may start eviction proceedings and you will be responsible for the costs of the eviction proceedings, my attorney's
fees. When I spoke to Max about that paperwork, he told me, rip it up. I jumped the gun. It was my mistake. The neighbor wrongly accused your 2 daughters. It wasn't them. Don't worry about it, Anna. Just throw it in the trash. Don't worry about it. So I said, phew. Okay, I'm relieved.
Did you have that conversation with her?
I did not, Your Honor.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Then why did you move?
I didn't move November of 25th, 2007.
When did you move?
November 3rd, 2008.
Oh, you left November 2008.
Of 8.
A year later?
Yes, because he told me to rip it up.
So now you ripped it up.
Right. And we went on living.
Let's say, and he didn't pursue the matter.
No, not at all.
Okay, now I
therefore
understand.
took my daughter
Just a second.
to his neighbor.
Just a second. You moved out November 3rd, 2008, and never signed another lease, correct? So that you were now living as a month-to-month tenant.
Yes.
Am I correct, Mr. Price?
Amendment to the lease.
Shh. You never signed another lease, correct? Ms. Alvarez?
No.
After this, you never signed another lease, so now you're living as a month-to-month tenant.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
And you chose to leave on November 3rd, 2008. Why?
I didn't want to leave, but Max was constantly, 5 days out of the week there. Just there. He would come by to water for 5 minutes. He would come by to just walk and stand and move trash cans from one spot to another spot. I had a patio furniture outside. He would fold up my chairs and put them away the way he liked them. I wear construction boots to work. I like to sit on my patio chairs when I get off of work.
You weren't happy
No, he was just constantly there like he lived there.
Okay.
Like he was there.
Fine. He was constantly there at his
5
place.
days out
Fine.
of the week.
You moved. You moved. Where did you move to?
I moved up the street. In the next city over.
Up the street, the next city over? How?
In Azusa. Where I used to rent from Max was Glendora. I moved into Azusa. I had
so
to
you
move
went to
right
a new
away.
town?
Yes, I did.
Did you move into a new apartment?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Why didn't you move out on October 31st?
October the 31st?
Yes, 2008.
Because I just didn't.
Well, you can't stay there in November without paying rent.
I did give him a rent check. I gave him a rent check. I stopped payment because he came into the house. Max came into my apartment. The reason why I left, Your Honors, Max came into the apartment 3 times without me knowing, with no notice, notice at all. The very first time when I first moved in, he came in to rearrange furniture.
I'm not interested in the very first time you stayed there.
The second time he came in with my daughter there.
When?
I believe that was August 20th. My daughter panicked and called me at work.
August 20th of what year?
August 20th of 2008.
Okay, but you didn't leave until November of 2008.
I went to the police department. They told me what to do.
Don't tell me what the police told you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Max Price says former tenant Anna Alvarez owes for stopping payment on a rent check and for damages to her apartment. Anna is countersuing for 2 security deposits and lost wages.
My question is a simple one, Miss Alvarez. Why didn't you move on October 31st, 2008? Then there wouldn't be an issue about November's rent. You owe him for November's rent. You were there in November.
I was there in November for 3 days, Your
I
Honor.
don't care whether you were there for an hour in November. My question to you is a simple one, Miss Alvarez. You moved to a new town. Why didn't you move on October 31st? There's a simple answer for it.
I gave him a 30-day notice. I let him know that there was a check there from October the 15th to November 15th. That was when I was going to leave. He proceeded to come over,
October 15th to November 15th. Is that when you paid rent? From the 15th to the 15th?
Yes.
Is that right?
No. November. I paid rent from November 1st to November 15th. I gave him a $735 check.
Okay, so you paid him for the first half of the month.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And then you canceled that check.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Because he came into my apartment again without me knowing.
When?
That was November the 3rd. November the 3rd, I got a message from him saying I went into your apartment again without me knowing. I was still there. We were still moving out.
What did he go into the apartment for? What
Same reason why he went into the other apartment the other 2 times. I have no idea.
On August the 20th, I was working on the unit up in front. There's 2 units on one property. Working on the unit up in front, walked down the little parkway to get something from the back, and I noticed a stool outside of a bedroom window with that window broken with the window broken.
It wasn't broken. It was.
Don't. I gave you a chance. He didn't interrupt you.
The window was broken, and it looked like somebody had broken into the unit. I went around to the back as where I was heading. I knocked on the door, knocked on the door. Her daughter, Alex Alvarez, who's 16 years old, said, "Come in."
She did not say that.
I don't want you to speak.
I said, "Alex, are you okay?" I said, "There's a chair on the outside of the bedroom window, and there is a broken window in your mom's bedroom. Is everything okay?" She said, "Yes, everything is fine." I said, "I need to enter the property because I need to fix this broken window."
Do you have any receipt from the broken window?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have a tape recorder, Your Honor, that I want you to hear his message on my voicemail. I only have one. I have 23 of them of harassment, Your Honor.
Put it down.
Okay.
It's not a difficult case, Miss Alvarez. What was the address of this house, Miss Alvarez?
739 in Glendora.
Well, why would he fix a window if it wasn't broken?
It wasn't broken. It was the place is old. I don't know how old it is, 1951 or 19 something, but it was stuck. It was closed. So when I went to open it for the first time, I have one window open and the other one closed. I tried to palm it up to make it go up, and it lightning bolt cracked, and that's what he's talking about. And for him to see that lightning bolt crack, Your Honor, he would have to be looking like he constantly.
Miss Alvarez, you owe him for November's rent. The half that you gave him when you stopped payment on the check. How much was that?
$735.
$735. So far, that's what you owe him, Miss Alvarez. Now, there's an issue with regard to security deposit, Mr. Price. She already gave you a $1,000 security deposit. I would like to see the condition of the apartment that she had before and after.
Okay. I have pictures here, Your Honor, along with receipts of before and after. There's before, the good ones are the before. I put $7,000, maybe $8,000 worth of before she moved in. The place was completely immaculate, brand new, and she will testify to that. She was very pleased and thankful that she was able to move into such a clean
So these
place.
are the after pictures or the before pictures?
Well, those are before and after, Your Honor.
Well, what you're talking about is scratches on the floor, sir?
Yes, severe scratches in which the tenant that has now living in the place has called me on it, and, well, they had to be fixed.
I had a twin bed in the bedroom.
They had to be fixed. Shh.
I had a twin bedroom in the girls' room, and yes, one of the wheels of the twin bed broke off, so that's what it did scratch it. I do know. I am aware of that. I do know that, Your Honor.
Well, then he has to have all these floors redone.
It's just a small scratch in the bedroom.
You can't just do one little piece, Miss Alvarez. You can't just do one little piece of a floor. You got to do the whole. You got to scrape down the floor, resand it, and then finish the whole floor. You can't just take a square and redo it. Would you show this to Miss Alvarez, please? I've seen the pictures of the floor.
What is this? This is the front. What is this? This is the front door? I don't know where the
It looks like a door to me.
This can't be the front door, because the front door didn't have it. I have my pictures also.
I'd like to see them.
I don't know what door. I don't know where that's from, Your Honor.
Okay.
My pictures aren't that good.
You took these pictures, Miss Alvarez, when you moved out?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
It doesn't look terrible. How much is it going to cost you to fix the floor, Mr. Price?
I have a receipt here, Your Honor. It cost me $980 to have them redone. That's the living room and 2 bedrooms.
What was wrong with the living room?
The living room pictures are also in there. It looks like the scratches to the living room, I could point them out to you, were maliciously done.
Well,
or it could have been from the dog that she should not have had inside of the house.
We don't have a dog,
I'm not
Your
sure
Honor.
where they came from.
We don't have a dog, Your Honor.
That's the picture of the living room right there.
Just the living room, because I saw the...
Yeah, these are bedrooms. That's the living room right there. And it's right in the center of the living room. And you are absolutely correct. I tried to ask my hardwood floor guy if we could just kind of patch this up, and he said absolutely not.
So this is the living room?
That is the living room, and the other ones are the bedrooms.
Okay, so it cost you $980 to take care of the floors. What else?
Well, you got the laundry room. You have pictures of the laundry room, damage to the walls. That had to be fixed. That was part of them.
The laundry room.
The place had to be repainted, and the
Good.
walls had to be cleaned
That's
before
okay.
they were painted.
That's
which
you're
is
the landlord. You do that.
typical wear and tear.
That's the
screens.
that you take care of.
Here are some the screens from the daughters sneaking in and out of the property at nighttime.
My daughters don't sneak in and out of the property at night.
The screens were bent.
No,
There's that.
my daughters don't do
Mr.
that.
Price! Hey, shh. Mr. Price.
Yes, ma'am.
You've got
Your
your
Honor.
$1,000 security deposit?
I'm sorry?
You had her $1,000
I did, Your
security
Honor.
deposit? Good. That took care of the floors, and you totally have new floors.
Okay, yes, I
You're
do.
also entitled to $735. You are entitled to that. You are entitled to rent.
Your Honor, I had to leave.
I assume that if
I had to leave because he came into my apartment with my 16-year-old daughter.
Listen to me. Miss Alvarez, you should not have canceled your check. Do you understand? If you had not canceled your check, once you gave it to him, we would not be here today. Because Mr. Price, I assume, has better things to do than to come to court. You irritated him by writing out a check and then canceling it. And you didn't move out until after November 1st. So he's entitled not only to a half a month's rent, he's entitled to a full month's rent. And you damaged the floor. I don't care about the painting. I don't care about anything else. Normal wear and tear, maybe a little bit more. But he spent $1,000 to sand the floors because of damage that was done to the floors. So you lost your security deposit. But we wouldn't be standing here today if you moved out of the apartment on October 31st.
I had to leave, Your Honor. I had to. I had to.
Listen, Miss Alvarez, to me, you're not a victim, madam. I know that you're putting on your victim face to me, but you're not a victim. You had the opportunity to leave on October 31st. You told him you were going to leave. You gave him notice that you were going to leave, and you were going to leave in October. Instead, you stayed till November. And if you paid him for the first 2 weeks in November and decided that for one reason or another your new apartment wasn't ready, you couldn't move, when you thought you were going to move, the other tenants didn't move out of the new place, so you needed an extra few days, what date did you move into your new apartment?
October the 15th I moved in. I paid extra so I can have both to get my stuff out.
So you had a place that you could stay and live on October 15th?
Yes, I believe it was October. It was both.
So you gave him money so that you could move slowly, paint, decorate, do whatever you had to do.
No, that's not true.
Well, then what did you pay him rent for from November 1st till November 15th, Miss Alvarez?
Because I was
You said you
gonna be
gave
there
him
for
a
2
check.
weeks.
And the check was from November 1st to November 15th, $735, and then you canceled it.
I canceled it because he came into the place where
I don't
was
want to
still
hear that
at.
again. I'm not interested. I don't care. I want to know why you gave him a check from November 1st to November 15th if you had another premises that you were paying rent on starting October
I think
15th.
it was October the 15th. I'm not sure.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $735. Your counterclaim's dismissed, Miss Alvarez. That's all.
Parties are excused. On the calendar in the matter of Winters versus Cornejo.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Winters, you and the defendant were in a relationship for a couple of years, according to what I've read, lived together, and then the relationship ended, unfortunately, unamicably. It is your claim that you loaned the defendant some money to buy a truck.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it is your claim that he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that he paid for the truck through services.
Correct.
Took care of your home, took care of things for the 2 years that you lived together, also paid money towards your mortgage every month that should be counted towards the truck debt. And this truck debt came about as a result of a loan that he had with someone else that he had been involved with. And when the two of you became involved, you said you don't want any strings attached, so you paid off the truck loan to the other person, thereby making him only beholden to you for this debt.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, when I met Alan, he offered, and that was his idea. He said, Rolando, I can help you with this. As long as you take care of the chihuahuas, help me remodeling the house, because...
Just a second. How much did you pay for the truck?
I paid $7,538 for the truck.
And how much did the defendant pay you back?
He, on June 1st, he gave me a check for $3,000.
What was the $3,000 for, sir?
For the truck.
Fine. Leaving a balance of $4,538. Because if he told you to take care of the chihuahuas in exchange for the truck, you wouldn't have given him $3,000. Right?
Right.
It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel.
He's thinking that's a lot of chihuahuas.
Your Honor.
What?
He also said, if you help me to remodel the house, that would contribute towards the loan. So in my mind, I always understood that, okay, I'm going to take care of the chihuahuas, I'm going to help in remodeling the house.
Just a minute. Forget the chihuahuas. What did you do to remodel the house?
We demolished the back of the house. That was hours of labor. And I also helped him to title a new bathroom and kitchen.
How many hours of labor did you put in the back?
Well, throughout the 2 years, I would say more than 100 hours.
Yes.
Originally, there were two loans. And last Tuesday, we went to small claims court in Utah, and he was given financial credit for the work that he did on my house.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. And I have evidence to prove that.
Okay, so that was one loan, but you've already resolved the issue, therefore,
yes, ma'am.
with regard to any work that he may have done to pay down a loan.
Yes, ma'am.
So why are you bringing it up again? You only get credit for the work once, sir.
I don't know. He's the one that is doing all this right now. And we had a fight the last time, and...
You can only bring up the work once. Now, you want to go into this assault, sir?
Yes, ma'am. On December 1st, 2006, I was having friends over for dinner. I was having Mike and another friend over for dinner. Mike is my witness.
Mr. Winters, this assault happened December 1st, 2006.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you and the defendant separate?
In July of 2006.
Your Honor.
In July, shh, put your hand down, you'll have a chance. So this assault allegedly happened after you separated?
Yes, ma'am. We remained friends.
Fine. December 1st, 2006. I'll hear you.
Okay. He dropped the dogs off because he provided dog for me. But the chihuahuas were owned by both of us. So he came over at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, dropped the dogs off, went up to a job interview, came back to my house at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were talking, and I asked him if he was drunk. And he said, no, I'm tired. I haven't been drinking. I knew that he had been drinking, so we went to get groceries because he was cooking Costa Rican dinner for our guests. And on the way to the grocery store, I told him, I said, Rolando, I know you're drunk, and I know you lied to me about it. You don't need to lie to me about being drunk. I knew he was going through a hard time or whatever. So when we got back to the house, it escalated into an argument, and he started to approach me. And the police had already been involved once before, and so I put up my hand and I stopped him. I said, don't come near me. If you come any closer to me, I'm going to call the police. You know that you'll be arrested immediately. So he didn't, and then I said, I want you to leave my house. You're not to stay here for dinner. I don't want this argument to happen in front of friends. And he refused to leave, so he sat on my couch for hours. He said nothing. So I sat on a chair opposite him, and I was reading or whatever. And all of a sudden, he just pops up, and he's very animated, and he said, okay, we need to cook dinner. This was a few hours later. So he starts cooking dinner, and I go in the kitchen, and I'm chopping things up for him. And I told him, I said, you have to promise me that you will not drink anymore tonight, and that you will not argue with me or bring up an argument while my friends are here. And he promised. So Mike and my other friend came to the house, and Rolando was very animated. He was a very gracious host. His dinner was delicious, and we had a really nice dinner. Well, after dinner, we were playing a game called Shut the Box, and it requires each player to have 10 $1 bills. I knew Rolando did not have that money, so I offered to give him 10 $1 bills earlier, and that's one thing that caused an argument earlier because of the money issue. So we were in the front room, and he would come in and out, and he was very pensive, and he would sit and watch us, and then he would disappear. The game becomes very, very rambunctious. We were screaming and yelling and having a good time and laughing. And we were also drinking cocktails. And the next thing we know, Rolando showed up in the living room wearing nothing but my bathrobe. He had gone into my bedroom and taken off all his clothes, and he had his underwear and my bathrobe on. And he came in immediately, started verbally attacking me, and Mike and I watched him, and we didn't comment. We said nothing. My other friend is a person that I also used to date, and so Rolando started to argue with him, and my other friend started to defend me. After a while of hearing Ms. Conejo just scream and yell, the three of us went into the kitchen to get away from him. And so...
And left him?
Yes, ma'am, in the living room. He followed us into the kitchen. He picked up a glass of water, and he went to throw the water on me, but he hit my other friend, who's not here today. And then before I knew it, he was just hitting me in the face. And I have pictures of my face
I'd like to see
to show. I also have a letter from the Victims Resource Center from Salt Lake City. So Mike and my other friend grabbed Mr. Conejo and held him down, but he wouldn't stop fighting. There was blood all over my kitchen. I went into the bathroom to see what my face looked like because I'm a flight attendant. They won't allow me to fly when my face is cut up. And it came to a point, Rolando would not stop. He just would not stop. And so my friend picked him up physically and threw him off my front porch. He landed in a pile in the snow. And my friend wasn't even sure if he was hurt because he landed on a sidewalk in the snow.
He was wearing his bathrobe at the time?
He was wearing my bathrobe at the time. And so a few minutes later, Mr. Conejo once again jumped up and took off. And that's why I didn't call the police.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know he has to have help in order to get rid of this problem. Unless you have a problem too. I don't know if you have a problem too. But he has a problem.
And later today...
How could they be so stupid? What did they see in him? Why would they want to take their hard-earned money and give it to that piece of nothing?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alan Winter says ex-boyfriend Rolando Conejo owes for a truck loan and for assaulting him during a dinner party.
Okay, Mr. Conejo, let me hear what happened on December the 1st, if you remember.
First of all, I want to mention that we were still in our relationship.
Wonderful. What happened on December 1st?
On December 1st...
Tell me how he got all cut up.
On December 1st, he called me and said, Rolando, come over. I want to invite you to have some cocktails to drink. And I went over to drink with him. And then he's like, we can invite some people over to play games, and that was Mike and his other friend. And Alan and me and his other friend, we were drinking. I had been in this relationship for 2 years. It was very dysfunctional. Alan would come from flying, and he
I want to hear about December 1st.
Well, we were drinking, and Alan punched me on the face because I told their friends that I had to put this facade pretending that we were in this good relationship. So he punched me in the face because I said that, and then he started attacking me, and we got in this fight. His friend...
May I see the photographs of your face, please?
I don't have a photograph, but
he punched you?
He punched me first.
Then did you... I'd like to see the police report.
I don't have one, but this is a pattern that Alan has.
I don't want to hear pattern. I want to hear the police report.
In May, we had a fight.
I don't want to hear May. I want to hear December.
I don't have a report on that.
Where did you go after you ran away?
I didn't run away. He kicked me out of the house.
Where did you go?
I went to John, that is my witness.
John, stand up. John, you have a last name?
Crapo.
Mr. Crapo, you remember December 1st?
I do.
I'd like you to describe the defendant's condition when he came to your house. First, how did he get there?
He said he walked. It's about 3 blocks away.
Then what was he wearing?
A bathrobe.
And how did he appear to you?
Very distraught. He was crying. He was bleeding.
Listen to me. Was he drunk?
Yes. That's it.
Okay. You have a drinking problem, sir? You have an alcohol problem. You know, I've been in the business for a long time. I can tell alcohol problem from a mile away. You have to stop drinking. He may be able to handle it. You can't. You have to stop drinking. Are you living with this gentleman now?
I am.
You know he has to have help in order to get rid of this problem. Unless you have a problem too. I don't know if you have a problem too. But he has a problem.
I understand what you're saying.
Have you suggested to him that he get some help for his drinking?
No.
Why not?
I'm not sure it's to that point.
It's that point. He needs help for his drinking. He may be a functioning alcoholic, but he needs help for his drinking.
As does Alan, I believe.
Not the same way.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's
Thank
all.
you, Your Honor.
Bodies are excused. You may step out.
He just has an anger problem. He has a jealousy problem.
It was a very dysfunctional relationship because he would come home with emotional problems, issues, and it was not good.
He definitely has an anger problem and alcohol as well.
Alan is an alcoholic too.
At first I thought he was kidding because this was the first time I've ever seen it.
He was the one that initiated all this, inviting me to drink.
Then I saw it escalate and it was like a wild animal, out of control.
I think he deserved it.
We will never see each other again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Howlett versus Lloyd. Step forward.
Laura Howlett is suing her ex-boyfriend, William Lloyd, for a loan to pay his taxes. William claims the money was actually a gift.
How old are you, Mr. Lloyd?
38.
What kind of work do you do?
I drive a truck.
How long have you been doing that for a living?
7 years.
Before that, what did you do?
Mechanic, auto mechanic.
Always make a living?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any family?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have?
2 sons,
How old are they?
18 and 16.
Have you supported them over the years?
Yes, ma'am.
They don't live with you.
No, ma'am.
Pay your taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this particular occasion, you owe the IRS some money,
Yes, ma'am.
which means at some point you didn't pay all the taxes you were supposed to pay.
Somehow during my W-2s, my dependents got messed up. That's why I owe taxes.
Well, your dependents didn't get messed up. You've always had only 2 sons, right? They weren't messed up.
No, ma'am. Talk about on the regular taxes you filled at the beginning of the year. I had more dependents on it than what I should have. That's why I owe taxes.
Well, when you had more dependents, where did you get them from?
Ma'am, I only have 2 children.
Right. So how could you have more dependents?
I filled out the paper wrong for my taxes.
Fine. And whose problem was that?
That was mine.
And whose mistake was that?
That was mine.
Whose bad was that?
That was my bad.
Now, Miss Howlett, this is your case.
Yes,
This used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
And he had this debt to the IRS. You paid the debt according to the IRS for him.
I did.
And you want him to pay you back. And Mr. Lloyd says it was very nice of you to pay that debt, but it was a gift. You took that upon yourself, and he has no intention of paying you back.
Not at all. No.
So, how long did you know him before you paid this debt?
We started dating in May 2006, and I paid the debt August 24th, 06.
You a working lady?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a dispatcher.
Trucks?
Yes, for a petroleum company.
Is that the trucking company he works for?
No.
No, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
Do you ever watch this program?
I do.
When you watch this program and you see women standing in the position that you're in,
I know.
and you say to yourself, how could they be so stupid? What did they see in him? Why would they want to take their hard-earned money and give it to that piece of nothing? I would never do anything so stupid. Didn't you say that to yourself?
I did, and I'd say it to myself now, about myself.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There are certain things that are positive in this life, sir. One is death
And taxes.
and taxes. What kind of pain is there if somebody else pays your taxes? Do not answer me, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Laura Howlett claims ex-boyfriend William Lloyd owes for a loan to pay his taxes.
Okay, so tell me how it came about.
We started dating May 06. We got serious pretty quick. I discussed with him moving in with me when his lease was up September 15th.
Okay.
Yes. He kept getting the bill from the IRS that he had made a payment plan.
He made a payment plan with the IRS?
With the IRS, yes.
What was your payment plan with the IRS?
$100 a month.
That sounds great, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened?
I was making $100 payments a month.
And were you living together at the time?
By the second payment, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And she saw you making this $100 payment.
Yes, ma'am. When I would go over to her house, I would give her $100 cash.
So you would give her $100 in cash?
Yes, ma'am. And then she would pay it over the computer. Just simpler than send it by.
To the IRS?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
good. Go ahead.
And then the third payment, of which we're here for now, for I don't know why, she was on a computer, and I asked her if she would make my payment for me. And she said, yeah, when she got done what she was doing. And so I was sitting on the couch watching TV, so I said, I'll be up there in a few minutes, and I'll give you the money. So I watched TV, and I went upstairs, and gave her the $100. And I don't know exactly what she said, because I don't want to say verbatim, but she had paid it off, my whole entire balance that I owed the IRS. I never asked her to, I never begged her to, I never even brought it up.
Good. So you had the $100 in your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with the $100?
I gave her the $100.
Did she take it?
I believe so.
Oh, so she paid the $21.97 to the IRS, and you gave her $100, which she accepted because you were paying her instead of paying the IRS.
Right, for my $100 payments.
Right. Keep going.
After I gave her the $100, I assumed that she made a $100 payment, just like she had done for me before.
Right.
And then turned around and she had paid it off.
So?
I never asked her to, I never...
No. And what happened the next month? Did you give her $100 next month?
No, ma'am.
Did she ask you for it?
That month, I believe I had moved out by that time.
Oh, did you try to give her the $100?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because I didn't...
You gave her the $100 the month before when she had paid off the whole thing, and she took it?
I gave her the $100 before I knew that she had paid off in full.
Yeah, but sir, then you understood, because she accepted the $100, that instead of her going on her computer every month to pay the IRS, she paid it off, and you would pay her back the $100 a month.
No, ma'am. I paid her $100, assuming that she was making the $100 payment for me.
But she accepted it. Didn't you hear me?
Yes. But I had made the payment after the fact she had told me she had paid it off. If I asked her to pay it off, why would I set up a payment plan with her when I already had it with the IRS? You understand what I'm saying?
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes, ma'am.
Who screwed up with the IRS?
Most of the people at the IRS.
No. Who screwed up with the people at the IRS? I'm talking to you. Who screwed up with the IRS? Say, I did, Your Honor.
As far as making these payments?
Who screwed up with the IRS? And
I did, Your Honor.
That's right. And who owed the IRS money?
I did at the time.
And who was it that spent the money that they didn't pay in taxes that they should have? Who would that be?
That would be me.
Pay your own taxes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of an assault? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes, ma'am.
You do a crime, you pay your own penalty. You owe the IRS money. There are certain things that are positive in this life, sir. One is death.
And taxes.
And taxes. Everybody has to pay them. What kind of pain is there if somebody else pays your taxes? Do not answer me, sir. If you get away without paying your taxes, sir, by saying, well, she paid it off, so I don't have to pay the IRS back $100 a month until they're all paid off, what lesson does that teach you? What lesson does that teach you?
That you shouldn't let nobody else try to do a favor for you and pay your own bills. I never asked her to do this.
Are you paying careful attention to me, Mr.
Yes, ma'am, I
Lloyd?
am.
You don't ask somebody to do your prison time for you, and you don't ask somebody else to pay your taxes for you. And if they do so because you had a payment plan with the IRS, and somebody says, look, I'm going to be a nice person, instead of us going through this drill every month, you give me the $100, which she took, clearly, when she paid off the whole bill, in anticipation of every month you paying her $100. Instead, you moved out. You owe her $2,097 because you paid the $100. Goodbye. Listen to me. Watch better next time.
I will. Thank you. Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
After a bad breakup, she left home.
I moved back to Florida, in the apartments in Texas.
And that's when he made his move.
You said I'm moving out, and then you moved back without telling her. But you let her pay the rest of the rent.
In the matter of Gonzalez versus Espinal. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Gonzalez, the defendant is your former live-in boyfriend.
Yes.
Shared an apartment together, and it is your claim that when he moved out, after he assaulted you, he owed you for rent and bills and damage to the apartment that was caused during the course of this assault. You also want to be compensated for the assault.
Yes.
The defendant says that he was paid up as far as his rent is concerned at the time that he moved, that you caused the altercation, and that as a matter of fact, it was you who assaulted him. That's your defense.
Yes.
Okay. When did you move in together?
August.
August of 2001?
Yes.
What date?
August 4th.
Is that when you moved in, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you move out?
At the beginning of November, the end of October.
Is that correct?
He didn't sleep October 31st, but he moved all his stuff November 1st. But he
All right.
still has some stuff in my apartment.
All right, so he was out the end of October.
Yes.
So August, September, and October, 3 months.
Yes.
One of the things you're suing him for is rent. How much was he supposed to pay?
Before when we signed the lease, it was supposed to be, it's 3 of us living there. His cousin also lives there. It was supposed to be the rent split into 3 and the utilities between us 2. But after we signed the lease and I gave him the check for the first month's rent and the deposit, he said, that his cousin was only going to pay $400 because he's only living in a room, that the rest of the rent, we will have to split it in half. And that wasn't the arrangement.
How many people signed the lease?
3 of us.
What months do you claim he owes you rent for?
I say November because he only gave me 2 weeks notice that he was going to move out in October.
So what you're suing for is November's rent because he didn't give you notice. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but he didn't. It was supposed to be the deposit and the 1 month's rent was supposed to be 50-50. I gave him the check and he only gave me $1,000 towards it, so he owes me $300.
For what?
Because it was supposed to be $1,300 and $1,300.
Are you still living in the apartment?
Yes, I am.
Who else is living in the apartment?
His cousin and his cousin's girlfriend.
So there are 3 people living there
Yes.
now. The cousin remained.
Yes, but he
and the girlfriend moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So make them pay the security deposit.
No.
What? No. I'll tell you yes. Don't tell me no.
No, I'm just saying that it was our agreement between us 2. And his
When
cousin
everything was
still
fine.
pays no, but his cousin still only pays $400. No utilities, no nothing. Because that was the agreement that he
Get
had.
him out. Get him
When
out.
he's
What
in the
about the
lease.
girlfriend? What does she pay?
She doesn't pay anything.
What'd you let him move in for?
I didn't let her. She came in one time and she never left afterwards.
Call the police. Have him removed.
I didn't know I could do that.
She doesn't live there. She's not on the lease. She doesn't pay rent. Put her out. Now, you didn't move another person into the apartment in November?
No, I didn't.
A boy?
No.
Man? No. He
No.
says you did.
No, I didn't move anybody in. I've been paying for everything myself.
My question to you is, the beginning of November, did you start a new relationship with somebody else?
Yes, I did.
And does the person that you started a new relationship with occasionally stay over at the apartment?
Once in a while.
Once in a while. And does he once in a while stay over the apartment the beginning of November?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So now you got the cousin, the girlfriend, and your sometimes boyfriend living in the apartment. You want him to pay
No, he
rent.
doesn't live there. He just stays there.
He stays there
because
occasionally. Well, if he
after
stays there
work.
occasionally, then let him pay half the rent. Leave him alone with the rent. Now let's get started with the assault. Let me hear your version of what happened with the assault.
Okay, I received a phone call from his ex-girlfriend telling me that he's been carrying on a relationship with her since June, before we moved in together.
Okay.
When I found out, I already knew, like, the relationship was already diminishing. So...
Had you met the new boyfriend yet?
We've been friends since we were 8 years old, so yes.
you met him already?
Yes.
All right. Let's move on. So you got a call from the girlfriend.
I've known him since I was
Miss
young.
Gonzalez, you got a call from the girlfriend, and then
Yes.
what happened? After
And
you got a
she
call from the girlfriend.
She was just telling me a lot of things, and it hurt me, but it wasn't surprising to me. He was outside, and I told him to come upstairs, and I told him that I wanted to speak to him, and he said no. Is whenever he wanted to speak to me. So I said, forget about it, you know. We just need to start looking for different apartments because I can't afford this apartment by myself. So he's like, fine, you know. He's been staying in the living room, you know, off and on, because we were back and forth the whole time that we were living together.
All right, so he said he didn't want to talk. He wanted to talk when you wanted
He
to
didn't
talk.
want to talk, so I said, fine, you know what? It's over, it's over. I heard it. I confirmed my suspicions. It's fine. You know, you did whatever you needed to do, and, you know, that's it. So I was outside waiting, you know, to go out with my friends, and he started with me, you know. He's like, oh, it was you, you know, you drove me away and all that. So I didn't even want to start arguing with him in front of the house. I just left. So on the 18th, that was a Thursday, since I wouldn't come home straight after work because I didn't want to see him, I would stay at my mother's house, or I would go out with my friends or whatever. And he knew I was seeing the other guy. He knew that.
Well, you say in your complaint that you knew things weren't working out as
Yeah.
soon as... Shh, I'm speaking. You say in your complaint you knew things weren't working out as soon as you moved in together, so you tried everything, including making him jealous. That's what you wrote in your complaint.
Yes, but that wasn't with him.
You tried to make him jealous with somebody else.
No, because when I started seeing this guy, we were already over and done with.
All I'm telling you is, you said in your complaint, including making him jealous.
Yes.
Okay. But it was with somebody else,
Yeah.
not the guy that currently is staying
No.
at your house part-time.
No.
All right.
I just wanted to see if he cared, you know. So every time I would come home, he knew I would speak to the, you know, the guy that I'm seeing now. So he would get on the phone. He would get on the internet real fast, you know. So I wouldn't speak to him. He was there all afternoon. The minute I would get home, he would go on the internet. So I asked him, I'm like, you know, in 10 minutes, you know, I'm going to go take a shower. Can you get off the internet? You know, because I'm going to expect a phone call. And I told him it was from an apartment. because I was looking for an apartment. We were all supposed to be looking for apartments.
But it was from the boyfriend.
Yeah. So he's like, no, I get off whenever I feel like getting off. I'm like, well, no, you get off, whenever I need to use the phone because you've been here all day. And he's like, oh, use my cell phone. I'm like, I don't want to use your cell phone. I don't want to use anything of yours anymore. That's it. I don't want to owe you anything. He's like, oh, I get off whenever I get off. So I went and I yanked the phone cord out. So he came at me and he pushed me, and that's when I just pulled it off. It just took all my strength and it came off. That's when the whole argument started. His cousin was there, actually.
I don't care where his cousin was. Just tell me what happened.
So we were in the kitchen, and he's flinging me back and forth against the walls like a rag doll. My son is screaming. He's crying, telling him to stop. So I had the phone in my hand, and I threw it at him, but it hit the wall. So then he just kept on, and his cousin's in between us, pushing him away, just stop, So I tried to pick up the phone, so I could call the police. So then at one point, I threw the phone, and I guess it hit him because he was bleeding. So
Just a second. What do you mean you guess it hit him? Because he was
it hit
bleeding.
him because,
don't tell me I guess. You threw the phone at him, and he was bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was after
right.
he was fingering me.
Just a second, you could have your turn.
He was fingering me against all the walls, the kitchen table, the stove, and all that. So I ran to the room with his cell phone to call the cops, and I locked the door, and my son was in there with me. And I went through, and he's like, oh, she's calling the cops, So he went, and he noticed that the door was locked, so he punched it open, and he threw me on the floor, and he took the phone.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maricel Gonzalez says after she was assaulted by her former live-in boyfriend, Sandy Espinal, he moved out. She's suing for the assault and for unpaid rent.
Go ahead.
So he was getting his stuff ready to leave. I'm like, oh, go. If you leave, the cops are still going to come after you. The cops are still going to come after you, because you hit me,
I didn't hear anything about him hitting you.
Well, he was pushing.
Just a minute. I didn't hear anything about him hitting you, madam. I heard pushing. The only blood I heard about so far was the blood that he had on him. That's indicated, I assume, in the police report. Is that right?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? If it's not indicated in the police report, then they missed it because he was the only one bleeding. Is that right?
Yeah, it didn't say it there, but it was out of self-defense because he was flinging me everywhere. His cousin couldn't even get him off of me.
Okay.
No, he didn't smack me, or punch me with an open hand, but that doesn't mean that is not
Okay,
abusive.
did you receive any medical treatment?
No, I didn't.
Okay, now let me hear from you.
Your Honor, that day I did not.
I'm finished with you.
I did not swing her. I did not hit her. She did not throw the phone at me and hit me. She hit me right with the phone in her hand. She went into inside my cousin's room to use his phone because the cordless phone that she had threw was on the floor with the battery all broken. So she went into my cousin's room to use his phone. She didn't get to use the phone. Then.
What do you mean she didn't get to use the phone, sir? She didn't get to use the phone because you stopped her?
Yes.
No.
Hey, you got a hot temper. You started to listen to me. You got a hot temper because the first thing that happened was he was on the computer and you went over to pull the cord out because you wanted to get off to get a call from your boyfriend.
No, it's
stupid.
It's not that.
It's exactly what you told me, Miss Gonzalez. It's precisely what you told me.
No,
I want you to be quiet, pay attention. I know you're used to talking, having people listen to you, but you're going to pay attention. What you told me was you came home, he was on the computer, you were getting a call from your boyfriend in 10 minutes. You told him to get off the computer. He said, I'm not going to get off the computer. You lied to him and told him it was for a call from an apartment. You went over and you pulled the cord out of the computer. The first physical thing that happened was your temper. Quiet. Now, she didn't get to make the call, sir, because you did what to the door?
No, I didn't know. I pushed the door open and I did not push on the floor. I grabbed my cell phone from her. I just snatched it from her and I walked out the room. And then she proceeded to go to the following room to use the following phone. When I went in there, I went to speak to Gloria, that's my witness here, and she was next to Gloria, like on the bed, and I was talking to her. Once I had my face to her, she hit me. She clacked me with the phone right in my face.
Okay.
No.
That's how come I was bleeding, because if she throws a phone at me, I'm a dodging. But she came, she caught me off guard from the side.
Don't tell me no. Whatever it was, you both acted very badly that day. I don't have a counterclaim for assault.
Yes.
The police arrived. Did they arrest you?
No, ma'am.
They didn't arrest you because the only one injured was you.
It was me.
Oh, okay. That's what I assumed. I don't know what you want from him. You now have, you live in an apartment, your son lives in an apartment, cousin's girlfriend, and your part-time new boyfriend. What do you want from him? He's gone.
No, it's just, we made a commitment together. And
your commitment was over. You decided, Miss Gonzalez, according to your complaint, that I agreed that we should move in together, but as soon as we moved in, he changed. It was not working out. There were arguments every day. I knew if I kicked him out, I would be stuck with $1,300 in rent. I tried to work things out. I tried to talk to him. I cried. I tried to make him jealous. Nothing worked. I was tired of being abused, neglected, disrespected, unappreciative. Unappreciated, I assume you mean. Okay? That's what you say.
Yeah.
You wanted him out. You got him out. Goodbye. Good luck. Have a good life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You got me out of the apartment. Now leave me alone. She still want to be with me. That's the problem. I don't want to be with her.
He frustrated me the whole time that we were together.
Happiness. I don't got to see her no more. I don't got to deal with her no more.
He'll get whatever he deserves at the end. It's okay, though.
Don't go by looks. Looks are the crazy ones.
Don't go by looks, sweetie. Look at you.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus Kamara, step forward, please.
23-year-old substitute teacher Laura White is suing her ex-fiancé, 30-year-old artist Jeremy Kamara, for credit card charges. Jeremy says Laura forgave the debt when she decided to keep the engagement ring.
Miss White, while you were dating the defendant, you decided to do one of the foolish things that people do, and you got a credit card for him. I assume your credit wasn't good enough to get a credit card yourself. Is that right?
Yes, I guess so.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And on that credit card, there was a zero balance, and you purchased nothing on that credit card. Is that right?
Correct.
He had sole custody of the credit card.
Yes.
He put some car repairs on the credit card, and he also bought you an engagement ring on the credit card.
Yes.
When you broke up several months later, you say that while he paid you some money, he did not pay the balance. And with charges, et cetera, it comes to about $1,300. The defendant says that you elected to keep the engagement ring, so he shouldn't have to pay for that, and that he did pay some money, but because you elected to keep the engagement ring, he doesn't feel as if he has to pay anything else. Is that right, sir?
Yes, it is. That's right.
Do I scare you?
No.
Then speak up. Let me see the credit card bills. Let me see the ring. I see you've got a box there. I assume you're willing to give him back the ring?
Yes.
Perfect. Why did you want to keep it to begin with?
I never wanted to. I just kind of kept it for collateral.
Oh, it's lovely.
I didn't ever want the ring, but he still owed the money, so.
You said if I didn't give it back,
Listen
I
to
would
me.
have to pay.
First, you don't speak loudly enough so that I can hear you, and then you talk to her. You don't talk to her, you talk to me. Okay, she's got certain amounts here that you paid, sir. She says that on December 7th, you paid $100. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
$36.50 on another date by check number 598. Another payment of $100. She's got the check number. Another payment of Laura paid $36.
Yeah.
What did you pay that for?
He wasn't paying me. There were only certain months that he did pay me the
And
money.
then she paid again $40 because the account became delinquent. And then he paid $35 in cash back in, looks like June. Then Laura paid $34 just to keep the account out of collections. Then her mother paid $400.
After she got the ring back.
What do you mean after she got the ring back?
After she got the ring back, I didn't have to pay none of the money on the ring no more. I just had to pay for the car that got fixed.
Well, now you're going to get the ring back. She doesn't want to pay for it.
I don't want to have anything to do with the ring or nothing.
Let me understand this. You want her to keep the engagement ring, then pay the credit card.
I was going to pay the remainder of the bill, what I owed on my car, and she was going to keep the ring and she was going to pay it off. That's what I had given it back to her. That's what the whole thing was.
I don't understand you. You're mumbling. You have to speak up.
I gave her the ring back, and I wasn't going to have to pay for it. She was going to keep the ring and do whatever.
You mean you had an agreement to do that?
Yeah. And I missed $150.
When did, just a second, when did you make the agreement that she would keep the ring?
Right after she didn't want to deal with it no more. I just said, I'll give it back to you, and I don't have to pay anything except
Would you talk? I mean, it's hard for me to understand him.
I was sick and tired of trying to get him to pay. I was desperate at the time.
I missed 2 months.
So I took the
That's
ring.
all
I took the ring back,
Wacko.
and I asked my mom to help me out with it, just so I could get the balance down. And so I took the ring back, just saying, give it to me. And I never wanted to be responsible for it, though. So that's why I have it now.
You had given it to him back when you said we're off, the engagement is off?
When the engagement was off, he came over to my house and took it out of my jewelry box.
Oh, he did?
Because I wasn't going to pay for it if I didn't have the ring, you know what I'm saying?
Are you speaking to her?
Yeah.
He came to the house and took the ring back.
Yes.
And then when he wasn't paying on the account regularly, you took the ring back.
I got him to give it back to me, yes.
Okay, and that's why it's here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Mr. Kamara, you get the ring back and you pay the bill. Do you understand?
That's what I would have done in the beginning. I missed one
Well, you missed how many payments?
One payment.
That's not
Or two
true.
payments.
Mr. Kamara, if you're making little teeny payments of $35, of $40, then what happens, Mr. Kamara, is the interest keeps building up. And you know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to get tired of paying for this thing that you don't have any appreciation for.
I never would have stopped paying for the ring. I gave it back to her because she wanted it. And then I would have paid it still.
No, she didn't want
I
it
don't
back,
want it.
sir.
I
I got
don't
news
wash
for
my
you.
hands cleaner.
This lady doesn't want this ring back.
That's fine.
This lady wanted collateral because you weren't paying as you were supposed to pay and her credit was going down the toilet. Judgment for the plaintiff and the amount requested, $1,300. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
हेलो दोस्तों, आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस न्यू ब्लॉग में। और बताइए आप लोग कैसे हैं? आशा करते हैं आप लोग बहुत ही अच्छे होंगे और जहाँ रहे मस्त मस्त बढ़िया रहिए। हम भी लोग बहुत ही बढ़िया हैं और आज कुछ सरप्राइज है प्रिया भाभी के लिए, तो अभी बताया नहीं गया है, वो आप लोग को भी नहीं बताएंगे। वीडियो में बने रहिए तभी जान पाएंगे आप लोग कि क्या सरप्राइज है। तो फिर उनके लिए है, हम लोग के लिए नहीं। अभी कंटिन्यू वीडियो में बने रहिए तभी जान पाएंगे आप लोग और कमेंट में बताइएगा ठीक है क्या है क्या नहीं। तो अभी मैं ब्लॉगिंग की स्टार्ट कर दी हूँ क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं है, अभी सुबह से लेके अभी तक कुछ पता नहीं है उनको। और अभी वो चीज़ गया है, भैया गए हैं लेने उनको, तो वो क्या चीज़ है, क्या सरप्राइज है उनके लिए, वो वीडियो में आप लोग बने रहेंगे तो भी पता चलेगा आप लोगों को। उनको भी नहीं पता है और बस हम ही लोग को 4 लोग को पता है। तो ऐसे ही बने तभी जान पाएंगे आप लोग कि क्या चीज़ है वो, कि बताया नहीं गया है उनसे, उनका फेवरेट चीज़ है। तो अंदाज़ा लगाइए कौन सा फेवरेट चीज़ है और कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर बताइए। तो इसे बने रहिए, मिलवाते हैं आप लोगों से, ठीक है। प्रिया भाभी के लिए सरप्राइज, वेलकम वेलकम वेलकम। खुशी
प्रिया सदर तू हमर सबसे खास हो का देखो
गाजा मको तो बताया
भाभी तो अपने बता रहे तुम्हें कौन जरूरी है
ये ना फोन हो करे रे हो कैसे ताकत सोच तो क्या हो गई।
अरे प्रिया पता
जानत रहे
सब कोई जानता
ये खुशी है, खुशी देखो कैसा लगा।
चला बिस्तरा लगा
बारे खटिया में चावल जा आई खुशी
खुशी झलक रही
इसको देखो झूठा अगर
तो दोस्तों वीडियो कैसा लगा वो कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताइएगा आप लोग। और हम लोग को सभी लोग को पता था कि वो राज भैया आएंगे, बस प्रिया भाभी को नहीं पता था, इसलिए हम लोग को सरप्राइज़ देना चाहते थे हम लोग, इसीलिए किसी से बताए नहीं थे हम लोग। सब लोग जान रहे थे और उनको नहीं बताए थे कि बोल रही थी कि कल आएंगे, तो हम लोग मन मन में हंस रहे थे कि कल नहीं आज ही आ रहे हैं, इनको पता ही नहीं है क्योंकि वो गाड़ी पे बैठे थे, बताया नहीं है इनसे। तो चलिए यहाँ तक आप लोग देखें, बहुत ही मज़ा आया होगा आप लोग को। थैंक्स और मिलते हैं किसी नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय।